Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Champman FPL Double Game Week 17. Why does it feel like it's blank or double game week every week at the moment? For those new and perhaps joining in with the game for the first time, welcome. My name's James. I'm one half of the Planet FPL podcast. And for the next 2.5 hours, we get to forget life's troubles and have a good time and enjoy this game. Apologies firstly for being a little bit late. What unbeknownst to me while I was recording our quiz on game week 38 this afternoon, Suj must have left the window open and sounded like he was recording on the M25. So I've only just posted that. I will send a link out for that immediately after this stream ends at around about 10 o'clock tonight. So first of all, as per usual, very big cheers. I'm on the sirens tonight, so it could be fun. Big cheers to our game makers, Dave, FPL Tactician. That's the wrong fucking order, isn't it? Dave, Simple Goal FPL. The newbies, sorry, I've got no filter. I might swear a lot. Andy, FPL Tactician. Dave, Simple Goal FPL. James Lapron. And Motley Barnett, who's the new part of the crew. I don't know Motley Barnett's first name. Can someone let me know, guys, in the chat? And I'll come back and pass on my personal thanks later as well. So, for those new, what we normally do is we'll go through the team news. I haven't even had time to prep the team news properly, but I have seen it all. It does look like there's no major shocks tonight. So all those triple captaining Rude, etc. Very best of luck. Anybody not got Rude, really, really good luck. I haven't pulled the triple captain trigger. For those wondering, I have just captained him. People stop writing sex in the chat. Badger, man, we're just going to get pure infiltrated, seriously. Block these pricks if they're in, because I've already blocked them, honestly. So, let's go through team news. You may also notice as well, something is slightly different with the graphics to usual. That should become a little bit more apparent once we get beyond the 8 o'clock. But I guess most of you can probably have a guess. We might have a little video printer. So, team news this evening. We'll start at Villa Park, where Aston Villa play West Ham United. Villa lineup 4-4-2. It's Peter Schmeichel in goal. Mellberg and Alpay the centre halves. Very much first choice there, I think. No Gareth Barry in the Aston Villa starting lineup. He's only on the substitutes bench, where you will also find Lord, Steve Staunton, Alan Wright, and Mark Delaney are the attacking fullbacks for Villa. They have a midfield four, right to left, of Steve Stone, Ian Taylor, Paul Merson, Lee Hendry. And Dion Dublin and Bosco Balaban continue to keep Juan Pablo Angel out of the Aston Villa lineup. Angel is also on that bench alongside Barry and Staunton. So too, George Boateng and substitute goalkeeper Peter Enkelman. They host haphazard West Ham United this evening. West Ham line up with Shaka Hislop, who replaced David James in the, 5-2 defeat at Tottenham Hotspur in game week 16. And Hislop starts this evening. David James only a substitute. They are back four of Song, Potts, Breckin, Minto. Midfield four of Sinclair, Carrick, Joe Cole, Titi Camara, Sinclair and Kamara allowed to attack from those wide positions. Interestingly, no attacking arrow for Joe Cole. Jermaine Defoe gets to start up front alongside Paolo Di Canio, which means Freddie Canute is only a substitute. He's a sub along with Izzy Irekpin, Don Hutchison, Hayden Fox, and of course David James. At the Reebok, Michael Ricketts is back in the Bolton Wanderers team. They line up as per usual for their home fixture today against Charlton in a attacking 3-4-1-2. It's Jaskalainen in goal, back three of Paul Warhurst, Colin Hendry, Colin Cooper. The wing-backs today are Nicky Saville and Neil Maddison. Really encouraged to push on. Means no place in the Bolton 16 for Simon Charlton. It's Kevin Nolan and Rob Lee, central midfield, as they continue their partnership. Henrik Pedersen plays in the 10 position today. Does have the attacking arrow, allowed to push on and support a front two of Rodney Wallace and Ricketts. From historically speaking and having owned Pedersen for a while myself, him playing at 10 does not seem to hinder his attacking returns in any way. On the bench for Bolton, it's Steve Banks, Bruno Ngotti, Jibril Diawara, Dean Holdsworth and Bo Hansen. Charlton line up 4-4-2. Obviously, Klaus Jensen is on the treatment table to around about Boxing Day. Luke Young has the nod at right back this week, and Danny Shittu is back in the Charlton lineup. Charlton are Dean Kiley in goal, back four of Luke Young, Richard Rufus, Shittu, and Chris Powell. Mark Kinsella and Jason Wilcox are the two wide players allowed to push on, and Scott Parker plays in central midfield with Gary McAllister. It's Yule and Bartlett up front. On the bench for Charlton, Ben Roberts, Andy Reid, Jonathan Johansson, Jonathan Fortune, and Graham Stewart. At Goodison Park, Everton host Newcastle United today. It's the usual 3-5-2 in home fixtures for Everton. Steve Simonson is in goal this week. Paul Gerrard's had a few clangers of late. Back three is David Weir, Abel Xavier, and Alan Stubbs. Xavier is allowed to step out centrally from that back three. Wing backs are Naismith and Watson. Midfield three is Paul Gascoigne, Scott Gemmell, and Thomas Gravison. Thomas Rosicki and Joe Maxmore play as split forwards. Obviously, Duncan Ferguson, we know, is now out long term. Gerrard is on the bench for Everton with O'Hanlon, Eden Tell, David Unsworth, and Peter Clark. Newcastle United ravaged by injuries. Obviously, Robert out long term, Solano out long term, Alan Shearer not fit enough as yet. Lineup in a 4-4-2 formation that also does not include Marcelino. It is Given in goal. Back four of Warren Barton, O'Brien, Dabizas, Elliott. Midfield, I've been waiting to do that for weeks, and every bloody week I forget to do the Dabizas. Midfield four of Gavilan, Besaidis, Sapunsis, and Olivia Bernard plays OOP left midfield. Bernard and Gavilan can both push on from those wide positions. Obviously, no Kieran Dyer at the moment for Newcastle either. It's Cole Court and Craig Bellamy up front. On the bench for Newcastle, Otto Fredrickson, Wayne Quinn, Marcelino, Shula Amiyubi, and Delapo. Fulham host Blackburn today, and for the newbies, Fulham can be quite fun. Can't defend, but certainly can attack. They are 4-4-2. I know Steve Finnan has not kept his place in the Fulham 11, having recently returned from injury. And obviously, Steve Malbronk was a huge question mark on fitness, was never likely to make it this game week, but could well be back for game week 18. It's Edwin van der Sar in goal, back four of Corrigan, Goma, Melville, John Harley. Two fullbacks, Corrigan and Harley, can push on. Midfield four, right to left of Bjarni Goldbeck, Sylvan Legwinski, John Collins, and Andrzej Stolzers. Front two are Steve Marley and OOP, Lewis Boamorte. On the bench for Fulham, sub-goalkeeper Glyn Thompson, Steve Finnan, Lee Clark, Barry Hales, and Louis Sahar. Blackburn are away, so it's obviously very defensive. 4-5-1, or as the community tends to like to call it, 7-2-1. Alan Kelly maintains his place in the Blackburn goal. Back four is Henningberg right back. David Wetherill, recently bought from Bradford, plays at centre half with John Curtis. Graham Lasso is back and plays at left back. The three holding midfield players are Jason McAteer, guy who is allowed to step out from that position into a central midfield position, and Mark Hughes. Damien Duff plays on the left. Craig Hignett is allowed to attack from the right. As is becoming common theme in these away games for Blackburn, it is Matt Jansen who's got the nod up front. Marcus Bent and Corrado Grabby are amongst the Blackburn substitutes this game week, along with Marlon Brooms, David Dunn, and Brad Friedel. Ipswich Town host Arsenal today. Usual from Ipswich, there might have been a tendency this could have been a flat back five, but it is the usual 3-5-2 from Ipswich. It's Serrani in goal. Back three of Horidison, Gardso, Bramble. Gardso is allowed to step out from that back three. Jamie Clapham and Maurizio Tirico are the wing backs. Midfield three of Jason Kumas, who scored the 89th minute winner at the weekend. Matt Holland, Jermaine Wright, Pablo and OOP Finidi George players split forwards. Andy Marshall, Jim Magill and Chris Makin, Martin Reusser and Alan Armstrong make up the Ipswich bench. For Arsenal, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst plays at left back to replace the suspended Ashley Cole. The suspended Ashley Cole who was sent off in the recent 1-0 home defeat to Tottenham. Ashley Cole, who was sent off recently in the 1-0 home defeat to Tottenham. It's David Seaman in goal. Oleg Luzny, Tony Adams, him, the guy I hate, but for the benefit of the newbies, he who won't be named is Sol Campbell. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst at left back. Midfield 4 right to left is Parla, Dimitri Albertini, Robert Pires and Andrei Tikhonov. Pires allowed to attack from central midfield position. And Francis Jeffers continues to play up front alongside Thierry Henry. The Arsenal bench is Richard Wright, Graham Barrett, Dennis Bergkamp, Sylvain Wiltord and Martin Keown. There are no shocks in the Manchester United lineup. In fact, I would go as far to say that is first choice 11, 100%. There was obviously some suspicion that there could be a little bit of rotation this game week with Leicester, their opponents. Leicester have lost a 5 or 6 on the bounce, Leicester. And being its low reputation team, the midweek fixture, against Middlesbrough to come. There was some feeling that there could be some rotation. There is none. This is as strong as Manchester United can be. It's Fabian Barthez in goal. Back 4 is Gary Neville, Laurent Blanc, the returning Ronnie Johnson at centre-half. Mikel Silvestre plays left back. Potentially good news for owners there. It's Beckham, Roy Keane, Veron and Giggs in midfield. Veron obviously allowed to push on from centrally. Dwight York, Ruud van Nistelrooy up front. Van Nistelrooy, who we haven't got the captaincy stats as yet, but I reckon at least 40% or so triple captain, I would say, is probably where we're looking at. And I'm not including the new players who can obviously log in on champmanfpl.com and play their free hit. I mean, genuinely, Van Nistelrooy triple captain, 40% overall. I reckon that's roughly where we're going to be. It's Ricardo Lewis, a sub-goalkeeper for United, Andy Cole, Nicky Butt, Ollie Solskjaer and Jimmy Davis on the bench for United. They line up, Leicester line up at Old Trafford in a 4-4-2. No thoughts of going defensive. It's Tim Flowers in goal, and in the absence of the suspended Matt Elliott, the back 4 is Gary Rowett at right back. It's Matt Heath and Jerry Taggart at centre half, and everybody who hasn't triple captained Van Nistelrooy probably just shit themselves. It's Damien Delaney at left back, midfield 4 right to left in the continued absence of the injured Dennis Wise. Is Joby McAnuff, Muzzy Izzet, Robbie Savage, Andy Impey. 2 wide players allowed to push on. James Scowcroft plays right up front with Dean Sturridge. On the Leicester bench, Ian Walker, Jordan Stewart, Trevor Benjamin, Matthew Jones and Arne Gunnlaugsson. Middlesbrough, who also have a double game week and 2 home fixtures, start with what on paper looks like a difficult Chelsea fixture. But for those in the know on this game, Chelsea are just not turning up in away games. There are no shocks either in the Middlesbrough lineup, but very importantly, Gordon is alive. Dean Gordon, OOP, is back on the left-hand side of midfield for Middlesbrough. They are Mark Crossley in goal. Back 4 of Stockdale, Southgate, Egiog, Fester. The 2 fullbacks can push on. Means Alan Johnson goes back to the right of midfield. It's Greening and Windass essentially. Dean Gordon left midfield. It's Hamilton Ricard and Alan Boxic up front. On the bench, Schwarzer, Nemeth, Noel Whelan, Ian Pearce and Paul Ocon. That said, in terms of criticising Chelsea, it is a strong lineup today. They are 3-4-1-2. And for me, that looks nearly as strong as it can be. You might debate Babiaro and Gronchier at left wing back, but I think in the away games, Babiaro does tend to play if fit. It's Kudachini in goal, back 3 of Gallas, Desai, Terry, Stanic and Babiaro, the wing backs, Lampard and Petit in midfield, Gianfranco Zola behind, Idiger Johnson and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. On the bench for Chelsea, substitute goalkeeper is new signing Mark Goodlad. Also Benito Carboni, Jesper Gronchier, Mario Melchior and Boudewijn Zender. It does look a strong Chelsea 16 today. Southampton host Liverpool, and I'm regretting selling Robbie Fowler already, genuinely. Paul Jones in goal for Southampton. The back 4 is fullbacks of Wayne Bridge and Rory Delap, who are allowed to push on. Leaves centre halves of Francis Benali and Gary Monk. I think Liverpool, this could be the turnaround day for them. Midfield 4 is Dan Petrescu, Anders Svensson, Murray and Gavin Ray. Svensson allowed to push on from centrally. James Beattie is in the Southampton lineup in place of Kevin Davis. He partners the always selected Marion Pahars. Davis is amongst the Saints subs with goalkeeper Neil Moss, Richard Jones, Brian Howard and Matt Oakley. Liverpool have Sami Hyypiä and Steven Gerrard back from extended rest and line up as per usual in a 4-4-2 and a strong 4-4-2. It's Dudek in goal. Back four is Hegem, Hyypiä, Henshaw, Carragher. Carragher playing at left back. He and Hegem, the right back, are allowed to push on. Midfield four from right to left is Danny Murphy, Igor Biscan, Steven Gerrard, Patrick Berger. Front two, I think, could have a field day here. Emil Heskey and Robbie Fowler. On the bench for Liverpool, Chris Kirkland, Jamie Redknapp, Gregory Vinnell, Richie Partridge and Stephen Wright. Sunderland, who have been in good form, host Leeds United today, who can certainly be indifferent away from home, shall we say. Some very impressive away wins, including a 5-star victory at Fulham and a very good victory at Leicester recently, but also been very poor in certain games away from home. Sunderland are 4-4-2. Neil Sullivan is in for a full debut following his signing from Tottenham. Takes over from the unsettled Thomas Sorensen in the Sunderland goal, who line up with a back four of Danny Mills, George McCartney, Emerson Tome and Julio Arca at left back. Those two wing backs, Mills and Arca, are allowed to push forward. Captain just sent me a DM. Apologies for the pause there. I'll come back to that. Midfield four is Chris Bart-Williams, Gavin McCann, Stephen Schwartz, Michael Gray in midfield. Up front, Gerald Seabon, who scored twice on debut at the weekend. Partners Kevin Phillips again, which means that Lilian Leslandis is again unlucky to be on the bench alongside Sorensen. Gary Teal is also unfortunate to be a sub. Paul Mayo and Nicholas Medina make up the Sunderland bench. Leeds, who have obviously back following 2 blank game weeks, have a lot of players back fit. This looks stronger for Leeds. It's Nigel Martin in goal. Back four of Gary Kelly, Lucas Radaby, Rio Ferdinand, Ian Hart. Midfield four has McPhail and Decor essentially. Eric Bakker and Harry Kewell in the wide positions are allowed to push on. Robbie Keane in the 10 position allowed to push on and join Mark Viduka. On the bench for Leeds, Paul Robinson, Dominic Matteo, Jonathan Woodgate, David Batty, Michael Bridges. No place for Alan Smith among the Leeds United subs. And on to the final game of the evening, where I've got the fear at not having Sergei Rebrov. Spurs host Derby County this evening. And it's rather what we'd have expected from Spurs. Interestingly, Simon Davis continues to keep his place in the Spurs lineup. It's Keller in goal. Back three of Richards, Perry, Bunjevcevic, Anderton and Ziege are the wing backs who can bomb on. Simon Davis and Gus Poyet central midfield. Teddy Sheringham and Salakovic both play in the 10 position and can join in with Sergei Rebrov. On the bench for Spurs, subkeeper Tota, who is likely to be the understudy now. Neil Sullivan has joined Sunderland, which makes Casey Keller's place very assured in the Spurs goal. Just a shame that he's shit. Stefan Everson, Richard Johnson, Andy Rushbury and the great Ledley King are on the Spurs bench. Derby line up with a flat back five that is designed to attack. It's 5-3-2. Carbonari is the centre of that back five in front of goalkeeper Mark Poom. Fellow centre halves Steve Elliott and Daniele Diano are encouraged to go into the full-back positions when in position. At full-back, Danny Higginbottom gets a rare start at left-back. Stefano Aranio plays right-back. They are tasked with attacking right up into the attacking midfield zones. Daryl Powell and Valakri play central midfield. So too does Craig Burley. Craig Burley is asked to get right forward from central midfield and partner a front two of Fabrizio Ravanelli and Malcolm Christie. On the bench for Derby, Andy Oakes, Georgie Kinclarsey, Chris Rigger, Lee Morris and Seth Johnson. I think that Spurs game could be about 5-4. Message I got in from FPL Captain. If you're new to the show, please give my man up here a follow. He's my man that produces all the graphics for the show. He's an absolute superstar. I'm so glad so many of you got to meet him during our 24-hour stream on Saturday. He just sent me a little DM saying the guys are having issues pulling the stats at the moment. We'll give you a shout when we've got them. So haven't got sort of ownership. captaincy stats and the like as yet, but for those joining in new, obviously just to take you through what you can see on the graphics, top right we'll have the running screen of the results and goals as they come in. Bottom right, you'll see league tables, list of top scorers for the season, top assists, very importantly, upcoming fixtures for the next 4 game weeks. And across right at the very bottom, you'll see the ticker that's going from right to left at the moment. What a Man FPL captain does in play is when there's a goal or assist, he will add the scorer and the assister into that zone. So obviously, if you need to step away for 5-10 minutes, you can always come back and catch up on what you may have missed through that area there. And above it, you'll see a message which the regulars won't have seen before, which says, "Welcome to Champman FPL Game Week 17. Listed there is the fantasychampman.com website where new players and all us regular players will be moving to ahead of Saturday, June the 6th, Game Week 20. Obviously, familiarise yourself, really importantly, with the website at the moment. You can do whatever you want on there, basically, in this game week. It's obviously past now. Game week 18, game week 19, whether you want to do a triple captain, a bench boost, just to have a play around. It's designed very much for our new players to welcome them to the game. And then game week 20 will obviously be the start when we all move from our current sheets to the website, and that's in time for the second half of the season. And obviously the guys have set up a great second half of the season league. If you're going onto the website, guys, remember to go www.fantasychampman.com. I understand the official account guys at Fantasy Champman have now put the website into their bio as well. On the Vidi printer, stuff may happen once we get goals, and you will notice in the top corner, clock is ticking. We are underway. Let's get your predictions. First goal scorer of the game week, please, and what minute? I'm going for... Let's have a prediction, shall we? Robbie Fowler, 2. So, what have I done this game week? I have made 2 free transfers. I have bought Alan Boksic and David Beckham for Jason Kumas and Robbie Fowler. I really was unsure about Boksic, but there's decent fixtures beyond. With him, it's always just, is he going to stay fit or not? It's not really a question on the talent and the ability and brilliant value at 7 million. It's just, will he stay fit? Early yellow card at St Mary's to tell you about. Sami Hyypiä is in the book inside 30 seconds for a heavy tackle. Only 89 minutes to survive on a booking, Sammy. Yeah, he's in my team too. Both teams set up to attack here. Both sides have had woeful finishing recently. But if they improve, we could see goals today. You can see the Vidi printer now. We've got loads of goals apparently, Chris. They're all just showing at 0-0 at the moment. But yeah, so I'm lining up in goal. Mark Crossley, picked for obviously with a double game week ahead of David Seaman, who's at Ipswich today. Although I do fancy Arsenal for a clean sheet today, actually. Back 3 for me is Hyypiä, already on a booking. Good start, having missed the last 2 game weeks. Mikel Silvestre of Manchester United. And I've picked Alan Stubbs today over Herman Hreidarsson and Richard Rufus. Brave. I just taken a decision on that I think Everton most likely to keep a clean sheet. One team that I was never going to keep a clean sheet and never do is West Ham United. And they are behind. First goal of the evening goes to Aston Villa. Goal scorer is Dion Dublin, assisted by Steve Stone. Villa lead West Ham 1-0 in the Claret and Blue derby. Villa 1, West Ham 0. My midfield 4 is David Beckham, Gus Poyet, Steven Gerrard and Alan Johnston. And up front I am Boksic, Phillips and Ruud van Nistelrooy captain. On triple captain, my original instinct had been to do it. I'm at the moment already regretting not doing it. I just made a decision. I was speaking at the weekend in terms of last week and also on our podcast about weighing up whatever I would lose on these weeks. Was it going to be worse than whatever I might be able to gain in other weeks? And I've made the decision that I think somewhere further down this line I can make a greater gain over others than what I will lose this week. Leeds are ahead at the Stadium of Light. Goal scorer is FPL Tacticians Dead Team captain Mark Viduka And the assist goes to Eric Backer. Leeds back with a bang. 1-0 up at Sunderland inside 2 minutes. Mark Viduka, the goal scorer. Eric Backer, the assister. Do let me know, guys. What do we think of the Vidi printer? Good little addition, yeah? Gotta be, innit? He's a genius, that captain, mate. I'm telling you. What a dude. I see Ram with a comment in the chat. Says 2 people called it. Well done. I guess that's on naming Dion Dublin as first goal scorer. While we're waiting for the captaincy stats and that, can those in the chat just hold thoughts for a minute? Can you fire into the chat if you've captained someone other than Van Nistelrooy, or if you don't own Van Nistelrooy? And that goes up obviously for the new players as well. Information on the Dion Dublin goal for Villa. Perfect start for the Villains. Steve Stone chips a lovely ball in towards the back stick, where Dublin is waiting to unleash a hammer of a volley past Shaka Hislop. Stonking finish, and on Viduka's goal. Leeds first out the blocks here after a nice little break for them. Backer beats Michael Gray before crossing for Viduka at the front post. He powers his header past debutant Neil Sullivan, whose first touch for the new club is to pick the ball out of the net. Oh, I see Eric Backer's back. Yeah, that joke's going to run tonight, is it? Bear with me just a moment, guys. And I'll get into the chat with you fellas. See what's happening. While I'm doing that, I'm just having a look through something. A huge thank you from... No, we can't do the thank you. Goal at the Reebok. I told you. Positioning doesn't diminish his returns. Henrik Pedersen, Bolton are under the radar and good fixtures. Henrik Pedersen has given Bolton the lead. Assist for Rodney Wallace. Pedersen with the goal for Bolton. Rodney Wallace with the assist. Massive, huge thank you to everybody that supported me and Suj through Saturday. It's nice to see familiar names in here that I obviously saw on Saturday. I know so many of you donated as well to our Virgin Money Just Giving page, raising money for NHS charities together. The page is still open. I did mean to put it in the description. I ain't going to work out how to do it now. Please don't tell me I'm useless at this sort of thing. You can still go to my Twitter bio, and the link is obviously on our page as well. Goal at White Hart Lane. There's going to be loads. Darren Anderton has given Spurs the lead. Assist for me. Assist for Gustavo Poyet. Anderton goal, Poyet assist. Spurs lead Derby 1-0. I'm predicting that to be the first of 9 goals in that game this evening. That would actually drop Derby dangerously close to the relegation zone. And should they lose and Newcastle win at Goodison, Derby would actually drop into the bottom 3 as it stands. Yeah, thanks so much for the support. Very proud of what we did. It's a difficult thing to say, yeah, proud. But I think on that one, we had every right to be doing a 24-hour stream. And I'm really pleased with what we did in terms of the content. Some seriously brilliant guests and features in there as well. And it flew by. I couldn't believe how dead my body was on Saturday. I had nothing. As I said on my podcast Monday night with Suj, I was doing random shit like putting the light on in the middle of the day, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I was just everywhere, which is why we decided to hold the main podcast back from Monday to Tuesday so we could spend, because I couldn't really spend any time with Harry Sunday. I'd have killed him. That's my little one for the newbies who's 18 months old. So got to spend a proper nice day with him Monday, and I think Suj did the same with his missus and his boys as well. But thank you so much. You can still donate. The target was 5,000. We are approaching 6,000. The money is still going in. It's incredible. Thank you so much, everybody. Information on the Darren Anderton goal for Spurs. Tottenham are such quick starters. Great play by Poyet, who goes on a good run, beating a couple of players before finding himself in a crossing position. He manages to pick out Anderton's run, and he connects well to head past Poom. Excuse me. And on the Pedersen goal, Bolton also... Oh, fucking windy tonight. Bolton also off to a fly. They've already gone close twice and now they lead. Wallace combines with Pedersen. And the Dane takes a touch in the box before curling a neat finish beyond Dean Kiley's reach. Woodwork has been hit at St Mary's. Told you there would be goals here. Well, there haven't been yet. Pahars and Heskey have already gone close. Now Igor Biscan sees his long-range shot clip the post and fly wide. A great effort from the Croatian. On the 24-hour stream as well, guys, obviously it's split into 4 videos of 6. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. FPL captain did his own graphics. The reason we split it was basically if you stream longer than 8 hours on YouTube, they don't recognise your videos. So unless you'd have been watching it live, you wouldn't have been able to see it afterwards. So we split it into 4 6 hours, basically just went on and off for a couple of minutes. You can go into any one of them and find the timings of when people were on, etc. If you look through my Twitter feed, if there's a particular one you wanted to catch up on, I can point you in a direction. Get in my DMs. Goal has come now, Stephen, at St Mary's. I've given the game away there, haven't I? Steven Gerrard is the goal scorer for Liverpool, back from his rest. Assist goes to Jamie Carragher. The local boys have combined for Liverpool at St Mary's. Steven Gerrard, the goal scorer, assist for Jamie Carragher. Wipes forehead in relief at selling Kumas rather than the obvious Gerrard. Hip Hop 07 Legendary, that you know I'm uncomfortable reading out nice comments, but I'll read this one. Yeah, 24-hour stream could have just been you not doing much. However, the guests you had all added something to the mixing pot. The Sheffield guys got you over the line. Yeah, everybody was brilliant, and we didn't just talk about clubs as such. So a massive shout out to Shamil at FPL 2 Guys 1 Cup. He was incredibly brave when he came on and talked about his addiction to gambling at 5:30. That's the last half hour of part 2 if you want to catch up with that. Just so many good people. FPL coach, I see in the chat celebrating the Gerrard goal. He came on with us in the 3rd hour of part 1, and we had a really fascinating chat about FPL and Coventry City and how they're homeless, but they look like they're heading back to the Championship. Really difficult to pick out guests because everybody was so good. And I need to listen back to Andy, Let's Talk FPL, and Tom Cantle at 12 and 1 o'clock because I haven't got a clue what I discussed with them. FPL Football and FPL Blade at 3 and half 3. I know we mainly spoke about Newcastle, and with Tomo we spoke about Sheffield United and Champ Man. At 4:30, Alex Waterbaby, I know we was talking about watching the Premier League from the other side of the world. A bit of Sheffield Wednesday, a bit about Hillsborough as well. Yeah, it got deep. Yeah, in the last hour and a half of us off our heads, it did get deep about Hillsborough. But I can't remember what I spoke about Andy and Tom Cantle, 12 till 2 o'clock. I'm going to have to go back and watch them. I know Tom, in the 2nd hour of part 4, gave a fantastic speech about how the NHS had basically saved his life in the past. In any case, it's all there to catch up on. If there's something particular you wanted to catch up on, highly recommend the chat with Emma Story, by the way. And only pick her out because she's not part of the FPL community and she's a sports journalist. She came on to talk a bit about the differences between the Bundesliga and the Premier League restart fandom, which is fascinating. That was 2.5 hours into part 3. Sorry, hour and a half into part 3. But if there's anything specific you want to catch up on, let us know and I'll point you in the right direction. Information on the Gerrard goal at Southampton. Fullbacks combine. Hegem crosses to the far post where Carragher has got forward from left back. He nods the ball down for Gerrard in space and he runs onto it and finishes. So much room he couldn't really miss. Terrible defending. Yeah, expecting more on that from Saints. I may have some information for you on numbers. Bear with me a moment. No, not as yet. I do have a DM from Pep Talk FPL. He said, if you want Spurs to win 9-0, you're going to need your lucky hat. I've got it. Listen, we're marking it up. We're 3rd in the league. As it stands right now, we're a point behind Manchester United. He's saying about luck anymore. We're coming for this title. Sujan Shah's in the chat. He says, bench Gerrard. For the newbies as well, and I must stress this out by saying, please drink responsibly. But friend of the show, Korf FPL from the Wolfpack, the great Wolfpack boys who do a Champman FPL podcast on a Monday night. He has a drinking game. For every goal scored, you have to take a sip of your beer. Every Spurs goal, you have to take 2 sips. A few of these boys are going to be slozzled tonight, mate. Goal at Portman Road. Thierry Henry is the goal scorer for Arsenal. Assist goes to Dimitri Albertini. Henry has Arsenal in front at Ipswich. Albertini with the assist. Every clean sheet wipeout, 2 sips on top of the one you already have for a goal. Drink with James every time James drinks, so do you. Don't let him drink alone. Don't let me drink alone. Like at the week, helps if I pick up the beer that's open. Suj is in the chat. See off half your drink. See, guys playing it have just finished a pint the last 2 minutes in trouble. It's not very responsible, this, is it? For a red card, 1 shot of spirit or 4 sips of beer for every red card. If you own the player, then double it. What a state. Whenever James says, Riverside, motherfuckers, 3 sips. Did I not do that with the Middlesbrough team news tonight? So disappointing. Sorry. It's a long-term thing for the new guys. Information on the Henry goal. It's been a bright start to the game. Kumas was brilliantly denied by Seaman before Arsenal counter. Move ends with Albertini playing a 25-yard ball for Henry, and the Frenchman sensationally half volleys it past Sereni. What a finish. Final 2 parts of the drinking game. If your captain scores, finish your drink. It's party time. And if an FPL captain stops the clock dead on 45 and 90 minutes, finish your drink. So he pauses the clock at 45 minutes, obviously, for half time, and then restarts it in the second. I can tell you that FPL captain does have a 98% success rate of stopping the clock at the right time. But if you are playing that drinking game, please do it responsibly. Gary Mantle says, were the 20,000 in the chat that time your Spurs mates after they heard you might win a title? No. But Mark Viduka probably has a few thousand mates at the Stadium of Light at the moment. He has scored again. Leeds lead 2-0 at Sunderland. They're on the money today. Viduka has a second 15 played at Sunderland. Mark Viduka with Leeds and his second. There is no assister on that Viduka goal. I didn't notice if anyone was putting in the chat that they didn't have Ruud van Nistelrooy or not. I got distracted. Can you all fucking do it again? FPL fell with a message for FPL captain. Graphics have hit new heights tonight. Yeah, it's good, that, isn't it? It's particularly good again if you pop out for just a couple of minutes to get a drink. You're very unlikely to miss a goal in that case, are you? Andrew Martin, my captain, Viduka. Fantastic start for Leeds. Backer is involved again. The Norwegian gets on the end of McPhail's cross. He sees his header well saved by Sullivan, but Viduka is on hand to put the rebound into the net. Too easy for Leeds, that. Plenty of eyes on Leeds. One of only 8 teams that play in game week 22, which is a blank game week. Those who are coming in for the game week 20 start and wild card, you've got a massive advantage, really. Yeah, Leeds, one of 8 teams playing in game week 22 at home to West Ham as well. And then they are scheduled to have doubles in game week 23 and game week 24. Although the doubles, just to let you know, the doubles in game week 23 that are scheduled at the moment, which is Leeds. I think it's Leeds and Derby. It's Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal, Newcastle. Those doubles will all be off if either side in those respective fixtures has an FA Cup third round replay. So we won't know till after game week 21. So for those who've been thinking game week 21 wildcard, dangerous, by the way. Ball's in the net again at White Hart Lane, and Darren Anderson's got it in the net again, but it's been disallowed. It's another head effort initially. He sees that save by Poom. God, indigestion's bad tonight. But pounces on the rebound to poke home. Unfortunately for him, Salakovic was offside and deemed to be interfering, ruled out. Christopher C says, should also add take a shot if your rival scores. I don't need to read the bit in brackets, do I? John Jacobson says, can't believe how many of us have Veron triple captain. Interesting. See, just looking back at the comments there. Hari Jahal, Veron, triple captain. Brad Lewandon, triple captain, Veron, come on, Wan. Brad Lewandon, Veron. Yeah, it's the same bloody guy, isn't it? Patrick Lawson says he dislikes game weeks when Henry scores. Ryan saying Andy's heading for another 90-pointer with Viduka captain. Just to clarify for the new guys, our three game hosts, FPL Tacticians, Simple Guy FPL and James Adapran, had a £90 million dead team that they set up at the start of the season. I think, Andy, and it's just my personal opinion on this, that you guys with the dead team should be allowed to wildcard at the halfway point. You've all got to do it together, I think. In just one wild card between game weeks 19 and 20. Because I think you're too far behind. Your team's shit, mate. Pick a better team. Even though you've got Viduka captain. Here he is in the chat. He can't help himself. Even though he knows what's going to happen. Viduka ×2 and Baka. Anyone on more so far. I've got a goal and assist. I feel like I'm part winning. James Street, Veron, triple captain. The differential that's not a differential. I can't wait to see these stats then. If a few of you are saying you've gone Veron. I mean, it's a brilliant way to do it, really. Like, all in. If you're not doing it, don't do it. I don't mind it. Gary Smith transferred in Ruud van Nistelrooy for Viduka. Clean sheet, wipeout at White Hart Lane. A little bit of an inevitability about this one, I think, because Spurs score plenty, but also concede them. Malcolm Christie has equalised for Derby County. Horatio Carbonari with the assist. 20 minutes gone at White Hart Lane. It's 1-1 between Tottenham and Derby, and it probably won't stay that way. I estimated 9 goals. We are on run rate, basically, in that one. Spurs 1, Derby 1. Christie with a goal. Carbonari with the assist. Andrew Martin says, we are not wildcarding when I have Viduka captain. I need him to go mental for the double. Alright, sure game, boss. Do what you like. Late Riser 12 said the rude bias is real. David Storm says, Veron is 12 million. Right, that is correct. On the Derby County equaliser. And it's an easy set-piece goal. Carbonari, who obviously plays centre-half for Derby, normally centrally of a back three. Whips in a lovely delivery and Christie beats Bunjevcevic in the air to head past Keller. Spurs really can't defend, can they? They'll be hoping their attack can dig them out yet again. For those joining in late, Spurs are the great entertainers of this simulation. It's fun. Probably avoid them defensively would be the advice, though. Late Riser 12 also saying Henry has been great this season, just under the radar. Problem is he hasn't been quite as good as Van Nistelrooy at the same value. But as Brian Newell points out, Henry has sneaked to the top of the scoring charts. FPL Chancellor's wondering if the game is starting to realise Liverpool should be a top 6 team. You're right on cue, Dan. Southampton have equalised at St Mary's. Might be a popular one, although I suspect most have already sold it. Anders Svensson is the goal scorer for Southampton. I'm just waiting for the FFSs here. And the assist goes to Gavin Ray. Southampton on terms against Liverpool. Anders Svensson, the goal scorer. Assist for Gavin Ray. Update from FPL Captain on the stats. It says the guys are still working on pulling the information. Do not break yourself, guys. We will manage without it. I think we know that Van Nistelrooy might just be most captains. And it sounds like Veron second. I'm not expecting many variations on that. Yeah, clean sheet wipeout saying sold him this week. Ram saying FFS. Andre's laughing his arse off. Henrik Pedersen has a second for Bolton at the Reebok. It's Pedersen the scorer. No assist on that one. They lead Charlton by 2-0. Pedersen with a goal, no assists. It's Pedersen's second. I think FPL Irons was shouting out in the Wolfpack about Bolton assets and particularly Pedersen in the run-up to this. So well done to anybody who got on that train. There's going to be a few. I don't know, it's a difficult one to fit in this week with obviously the United-Liverpool doubles. Tronic's happy. He's still got Svensson. Rob Pick is never happy with anything, really. James Trustwell says, Svensson, I despise you. Carl Coote still got Svensson on his bench. David Strom says, oh, come on. Clean sheet wipeout says Svensson's the ultimate troll. Patrick Lawson, for fuck's sake, owned him for 5 fucking game weeks and he does fuck all and now he scores. I knew it. The Saints equalised. Bahaz tees up Gavin Ray on the edge of the box. He's unlucky to see his excellent effort bounce back off the bar, but Svensson reacts fastest and smashes the rebound home right-footed. This is a good fun game week start, isn't it? For the new guys, don't expect many clean sheets, right? Just so you know. The 2 teams with home fixtures in this double game week. Obviously, home fixtures today as part of their double game week. We just have another one tomorrow. Manchester United and Middlesbrough, the boys from the Riverside, motherfuckers. Both still 0-0. United at home to Leicester, Middlesbrough at home to Chelsea. Everton, Newcastle, Fulham, Blackburn are the other 2 games that remain goalless. Bolton and Leeds already have a couple on the board, both lead 2-0. Information on that Pedersen's second goal for Bolton, a second and 9 and an 8th of the season for the Danish striker. He gets the shot away from Hendry's long ball. Kylie saves well, but it comes straight back to the chunky forward who finishes before the Irishman can get back to his feet. Guys, I think I can call him chunky forward. I'm not sure if you can. It's just putting it out there. Andrew Martin saying it was Samuel on the Wolf Pod and the FPL numbers saying the same. Well done, Samuel. You know me. I'm going to be honest. I listened to the Wolf Pod half paying attention on Monday night. I'm not with it yet. Just about recovering. Carl Coote said, it's FPL. When is FPL ever fun? FPL is fun when you don't take it too seriously. And especially this. Don't take this too seriously. Just enjoy yourself, guys. Bradley's in the chat. Goal at Old Trafford. It's a big one. Juan Sebastian Veron has given Manchester United the lead against Leicester City. Watch that chat go mental. Veron the scorer. Ronnie Johnson with the assist. Veron the goal scorer. Johnson the assist. That's for the benefit of those on the replay. Veron the scorer, Johnson the assist. United lead Leicester 1-0. 26 minutes gone there. I'll let you all have a moment and let that sink in. Love these beers. Rams laughing. Brendan Davis says, boom, Angus McPhail. Captain Wan, Dick Wellington's happy. FPL Andy is not happy. Pompey in Uganda. Bum ass. Neil Murray's happy. Welcome to the game, Mr. Murray. Hassan Kala, Veron. Late Razu, Veron. Hassan's happy. Badger says, balls. Gary Smith says, boo. DJ Music Ace offers congratulations to Veron captainers. Lots of happy people in there. And lots of reminders that it's early days. Bradley, I missed your comment. It's disappeared, but welcome to the game. Great to see you in the chat. My Wolves correspondent, Bradley Parker. United get the goal there. Early pressure deserves. And it's superb. Veron picks up the ball on the halfway line and beats Izzet and Savage before finding himself in space on the edge of the box, and he hits a lovely low finish from there. Boom. Brad Lewington shouted, triple captain. I think I got a glance there. The FPL play, the man who deserves much luck following his run with Jason Yule. Looks like he may have triple captained him as well. Brian Yule says, Leicester have to come out now. Ruud van Nistelrooy will capitalise. Don't hold your breath. Gary Robinson is getting Veron. Big goal in the title race that. Gary had a great appearance as well 4.5 hours into part 3 on Saturday night, we did our top 10 best ever FA Cup goals and we argued it out. I think I won. Brad Lund, run triple captain, 3 goals so far. Finally, a green arrow, maybe. I mean, what's all that? I got 70 last week. Red arrow. Bloody hell. And then Suj goes to me, yeah, I got like 46. Excuse me. I see Alex Ball in the chat. It was with us 4.5 hours from 4:30 AM into part 4 on Saturday. FPL numbers did Beckham to Varane, but Captain Ruud van Nistelrooy. Well done, Varane TCers. Long way to go, guys. Long way to go. Final Richards confirming him and his joint manager Alex both own Varane. Bricky wants someone to put Varane in the stands. Christopher C. I've got Beckham, Varane and Van Nistelrooy. I want 9 in that game. Sujan Shah's auto-corrected me. Sujan Shah's in the chat. Sujan's in the chat. Got 49 rather than 46. Good boy. Luke Vierstig. Cheers, Hippo. Seen those around a lot. What have you seen around? Let me know because I missed that. Mark Dorney. Well done, Wan. Hippo07 Legendary at Luke Vierstig. Yeah, they're really good. I just ordered my second large package from them to deliver in the USA. Got to be beer nuts you're talking about. If you're not talking about beer nuts UK, then stop it. Stop selling other stuff. Gary Smith, you're a funny guy. I couldn't believe when you called in to our chat at the weekend that you were quite a normal guy. I think everyone was really disappointed. Sitter at the Cottage where it remains goalless between Fulham and Blackburn. Luis Boamorte has his head in his hands. John Harley does well down the flank and tees up the Portuguese. He really should score, but he totally mishits it and bubbles wide. Oh dear, Fulham are well on top in that game though. Sujan Chat says, Sujan Chat says, if I'm in the Shah. Sujan Shah says, if I'm in the chat, the people have to drink. People have to drink when I say Sujan Shah's in the chat or Suj is in the chat. It's not going well for people tonight. Please drink responsibly, guys. Everyone's saying to Suj like, yeah, we're drinking. Vinyl Ritchie, right, we need Ruud van Nistelrooy to hugely outscore Varane. That's probably what everyone else is thinking at the moment. Obviously, everyone who doesn't own Varane. Tim Lump says, how much is a beer nuts package? Depends. 25, 45 or 60, I think, depending on the package. Do go and have a look at the website. And obviously, if you did miss some, Steph from Beer Nuts was our first guest on our 24-hour stream. Go to hour 1 of part 1 and you can hear more about their packages, including a great Father's Day range, actually. It's Father's Day in the UK. It's Sunday week, but it's certainly very soon. That package is £25. Bradley, who's starting out for the first time today, our Wolves correspondent, says he's already cursed Boamorte. You get used to it. We all curse people, mate. Pete Squires is encouraged by Premier League going back to contact training, moving closer to a return. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. We'll get confirmation in the next few days whether it's going to be 19th or the 26th, I think. But yeah, it's happening. Whether it'll finish is a different matter. Whether there's a second spike and that halts it, I don't know. Plenty still think a second spike is likely to come. I think a second spike is likely to come. But if there isn't one, it will restart. And they're certainly going to put plans in place. Penalty appeal at Villa Park to tell you about. Oosh, that really looks like it should be a penalty. Alan Wright slides in on Di Canio. He gets all of the man and none of the ball. But Steve Bennett says no. Alex McLeish absolutely furious on the sidelines and understandably so. FPL Woodyback says, can we take a minute to mention Albertini assisted for me tonight? My boys come good. We did. We mentioned it about 1/4 past, pal. Goal at White Hart Lane. Boo. Spurs are behind. Fabrizio Ravanelli, the goal scorer, and the assister is Danny Higginbottom. We're about 3 minutes behind run rate now. It's Tottenham 1, Derby County 2. Ravanelli, the scorer. Higginbottom with the assist. FPL Farrell was looking for VAR at Villa Park. Pete Squires kind of says what I say. As a Spurs fan, a return to football might not be great. Shocking season. Let's get rid of that fucking manager and life will get better, mate. Gary Robinson, Veron matches his real goal tally for the season already. Real Cantrell, Di Canio will ask the bench to sub him off. Loved to strop old Paolo, didn't he? Gary Smith saying typical Tottenham. Listen, mate, you can get people muted in here, you know. Be nice. He does. Spurs win that 5-4. Don't worry about it. Spurs are really going to need that attack now. Ravanelli plays a neat 1-2 with Higginbottom in the box. The defender chips the ball back to him and Ravanelli volleys past Keller, who perhaps should have done a bit better there. Spurs need to buy a goalkeeper, man. Seriously. There's a possibility of a Champions League finish here when really this team's not good enough. And yeah, man, that silly geezer in goal is fucking useless. I love Gary Smith. You're such a star, right? Gary Smith says, typical Tottenham, accurate sim. Billy Hadaway says, Gary, who do you support? Gary Smith says, me? Yeah, you, blood. James Street says, glad I went against the Ziga transfer. It doesn't matter. Spurs ain't never keeping clean sheets, mate. Let's be playing Arsenal. So you're buying Ziga for the attacking returns. You ain't buying for nothing else. It's all gone Pete Tong for West Ham as per usual. Not only should they have just had a penalty, but they are 2-0 down at Villa Park. Lee Hendry, the goal scorer, and assist again goes to Steve Stone, who's getting more minutes for Aston Villa now that they are playing a 4-4-2 under Kenny Dalglish. Stone with his second assist of the night. Gary Smith, I can tell you, supports Liverpool, and everything makes sense now. Steve Jones, I have all three of that Spurs attack. Someone wake them up. Joe Jenkins, oi, Keller got 11 points recently. Yeah, he got 11 points. It's only against fucking Arsenal. It's not like big deal. Come on, let's be honest. He fluked it, right? Spurs kept a clean sheet at Arsenal because Ashley Cole got sent off and because Arsenal couldn't put the ball in the net. Let's be honest and real about it. Fluke. Goal at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Jonathan Greening is the goal scorer for Middlesbrough. Flash! Dean Gordon is back and with the assist for Borough. Greening the scorer. Dean Gordon with the assist. Middlesbrough lead Chelsea 1-0 at the Riverside. Gary Smith, I feel like winding you up and telling you that Liverpool won't be champions. If the season's voided, you'll get nothing. But I'm actually concerned you might take that seriously. So please don't. Bradley Parker says, Lee Hendry in form now after that winning goal in Harry's Heroes. Bradley, man, that's a spoiler. I ain't seen that yet. I'm joking. I don't care. A penny for Alex McLeish's thoughts, asked the official account. Denied a penalty moments before. They now trail by 2. Stone lays the foundations again, neatly laying the ball off for the on-rushing Lee Hendry, who fires it low past Hislop. Plenty of love for Dean Gordon in the chat. Although plenty saying, damn, it should have got him back. Ouch, gone too early. Haven't got him back yet. Joe Jenkins can already feel his red arrow. Suj brought Gordon this week. Nice. Well done, mate. Alan Cronin, classic double game week. Chuck the form out the window for the heavy hitters on double game weeks. Of course. Luke Poyers, Dean Gordon, you beauty. Information on the Greening goal. Borough lead Greening chips the ball out wide to Gordon, who heads the ball over the defensive line back to Greening, who continued his run. He finds himself one-on-one, and although he scuffs his finish a little, it bobbles past Cudicini. Borough in front against Chelsea. Means only the games at Goodison Park and Craven Cottage remain goalless. And I'm happy to tempt fate, but at the moment, that's part why Alan Stubbs got the nod for me over Hariderson. I'm well aware that Stubbs could get a clean sheet and get put, and Hariderson could still get the same out of him by hitting a top bonus. But I felt, yeah, Arsenal at home today was a good one, maybe to just skip on by and let him go. For the new boys, some of these Ipswich defenders are absolute beasts for getting bonus, and none more so than Hariderson. But there's upsides to some of the other defenders. Clapham's on penalties. Tarico's a bit of an assist magnet. Excuse me. Bramble gets the odd goal. God, it's a good job I didn't sell Steven Gerrard, didn't I? He's not scored, but it's his second return. He's got an assist. Goal scorer is Danny Murphy. Liverpool in front at Southampton. Murphy the scorer. Steven Gerrard with the assist. That's a Brucey bonus that I wasn't expecting. Patrick Lewis says, do I need to get Gordon back in for Festa now? You know, the second you do, mate, Borough will get 2 penalties in a game. Just saying, but it's up to you. Yes, Gianluca Festa, we assume, is on penalties for Middlesbrough. He's taken a couple this season. Then again, any explanation, guys, for why we think Redroth got the penalty for Spurs in the game against West Ham at the weekend, rather than Salakovic? I don't think the computers are aware enough to say, oh yeah, that fella's on a hat-trick. Give it to him. What did we miss? I'll tell you what we have just missed. West Ham have scored. Jermaine Defoe. JD on the score sheet for West Ham. Assist for Titi Camara. Defoe goal. Camara assist. Villa clean sheet. Gone. 2-1 at Villa Park. West Ham back in it. Aritroa is happy with the Gerrard getting. Luke Portier, Stevie G getting redemption for non-sellers. Yeah, about having him in for a double game week and he don't even show up. I suppose not showing up at all was better than showing up for 5 minutes. Alan Mott Daddy says, drinking game isn't so bad. Can't get too drunk if you don't get any returns. Yeah, but if I say things like Sudge is in the chat, then Sudge is in the chat. And you'd be in trouble because Sudge is in the chat. Sudge says, did Wilcox start for Charlton? Yes, he did, pal, playing left midfield as per usual. Information on the Defoe goal. West Ham back in it. This one's all about the youngster Defoe, who brilliantly controls Camara's pass before skipping past Mellberg with ease and stroking the ball past Schmeichel, who was pretty poorly positioned. And on the Murphy goal, an exquisite low cross from Gerrard here. He receives the ball from Fowler and his ball is perfectly weighted and ideally positioned between defensive line and goalkeeper. Murphy slides into that corridor of uncertainty and pokes home to give the Reds the lead again. Serge, you might notice there's a few people in the chat asking if Defoe scored for Spurs. And if you missed that comedy gold from Saturday, you got 99 problems and I feel bad for your son. I got him good. And then he tried to pass it off. I got you good, boy. Steve Jones, on the current on FM, there's a tick box option on your pen takers. I'm going to interrupt that because there is a massive goal at Old Trafford. It's Van Nistelrooy. He scored for United 2-0. Van Nistelrooy on the score sheet. David Beckham with the assist. So I feel like my assist there for Beckham has cancelled out the triple captain a bit. We're all hanging on here, shitting ourselves about what the other one is doing. Because Van Nistelrooy has put Manchester United 2-0 up against Leicester. Van Nistelrooy is the scorer. Beckham with the assist. Let's watch that chat go mental again. Sid said, as good as you got yourself with Nagasaki. Nothing was funnier than Nagasaki. If you don't know what Nagasaki is all about, you need to watch Sid and James play Articulate drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning. Goal at Villa Park. West Ham's comeback didn't last very long. Aston Villa have a third. Dion Dublin has the second. Paul Merson with the assist. Villa lead West Ham by 3 goals to 1. And for the newbies who might be in the chat thinking, bloody hell, there's a lot of goals in this, isn't there? Welcome to our game every week, people. So, Van Nistelrooy, Veron now level. Beckham assist as well. Interesting. Clean sheet potentially still intact. Yeah, could be more to come there, I think, for United. Could be more to come. I think that'll do me. I'll be quite happy with that now. Just finish. 1 goal. Nice little captain return. Under the triple captainers. Equals Veron. Does me fine. Everton have the lead at Goodison Park. Joe Max Moore is the goal scorer and is an assist for Abel Xavier. Everton lead Newcastle. 18th Newcastle with a crippling injury list. One of the highest reputation teams in this game should be around about top 6 really. They are in 18th and in trouble. Thanks, Hipok07 Legendary. I'm a good describer. I just don't know shit. So, alright. So, I don't know that Nagasaki is a city rather than a bike. But, yeah, I can explain anything, right? The thing is, he got the right answer, didn't he? You need to see it. Scarlett says, come on, Giggs. It's your turn now. Only Fulham and Blackburn remains goalless. This is a cracking first half tonight, guys. Alan Daddy says, almost got Dublin, but got worried about Angel starting. Bolton have a third at the Reebok. Charlton have conceded 4 at Sunderland at the weekend, and now 3 down at Bolton. It's not Pedersen this time. Michael Ricketts, the goal scorer. Rob Lee with the assist. Gary Smith, no, unfortunately, don't have captain stats as yet. The guys have had some difficulty pulling the information. Probably because they can't count how many Ruud van Nistelrooy triple captains there are. So unfortunately, we don't have it at the moment. Please bear with the guys. I'm sure they'll supply that information if they can. It is one of them things. I think, look, we all know the majority of Captain Van Nistelrooy, the triple captaincy is going to be very high, and there's probably a few Veron triple captainers and captainers knocking about as well. Luke Vista, can you clip up this Nagasaki chat? Somebody did clip it and already tweet it out earlier in the week. So if you spend 5 minutes looking through my timeline later, you will find it. Somebody did share it as a tweet earlier in the week. I think it was probably the funniest moment of the stream. You know when you laugh so hard that you cry, and obviously I was drunk by this point as well. Yeah, that was me. Information on the second Dublin goal for Villa. Well, Villa's third on the night. Villa strike back instantly. It's a simple goal too, which will add to McLeish's frustrations this evening. Merson whips in the free kick, and Dublin rises unchallenged to nod past Hislop. That's his bread and butter. And on Van Nistelrooy's big goal at Old Trafford, he does his best Veron impression to score a typical goal for him. He spins past Izzet and then beats both Taggart and Heath before scoring with a fine left-footed finish. A great individual effort from the Dutchman. Rich PFPL says, I'm my own worst enemy. At some point today, I've owned Veron, Beckham and Giggs. Left it on Giggs. On the Max Moore goal for Everton, it's been a drab affair here, perhaps predictably, but Everton lead. Abel Xavier, given licence to roam today, pushes forward and sends in a great cross towards Moore. The American makes no mistake either, heading firmly past Given. And on the Ricketts goal at the Reebok, people criticise Allardyce's football, but this was liquid football. Maddison, Pedersen and Wallace are all involved. One touch before Lee plays through Ricketts and he shoots low and hard beyond Kylie. Very much Bolton's half here. Game over question. FPL captain nailed the clock as per usual on 45 minutes, but the games are still ongoing. So it just stops at 45 to make sure we can restart the second half at the correct time as well, because you can't restart the clock, unfortunately, on this system if you go past 45. So the first halves are not finished as yet. They are now. Goals are plenty in the first 45. Villa lead West Ham 3-1. 2 goals for Dublin. Also 2 goals for Steve Stone amongst them. Pedersen has scored twice for Bolton. They lead Charlton 3-0. Everton lead Newcastle through that late goal by Moore. Fulham and Blackburn is the only game that remains goalless. Arsenal lead 1-0 Ipswich through a Thierry Henry goal, assisted for Woollyback by Demetrio Albertini. Veron and Van Nistelrooy on the score sheet for United, who lead Leicester 2-0. Ronnie Johnson and Beckham with the assist. Middlesbrough lead Chelsea 1-0 for a Greening goal, assisted by Dean Gordon. Liverpool 2-1 up at Southampton. Stephen Gerrard with a goal and assist. And Anders Svensson, to many's dismay, was the goal scorer for Saints. Mark Viduka has a pair. They lead 2-0 at Sunderland. Derby have come from behind to lead 2-1 at Spurs. Ravanelli amongst the goal scorers there. His strike partner Malcolm Christie had got Derby's first, cancelling out Darren Anderton's 5th minute opener. Obviously, if you're joining late and you want to catch up with all the goals and the assists, obviously below me you can see the video printer, and then below one more you can see all the scorers and the assists on the constant ticker going from left to right. Now guys, I have nothing particular planned for this half-time period. I thought probably the best thing to do was to leave it open for anybody who had any questions as potential new players or new viewers that might be joining us this evening, and welcome to the game. We're very much happy that you're joining us and becoming a part of this community. If there are any questions, it doesn't have to be from new players. Anybody can ask a question. Happy to do a bit of a Q&A for 10 minutes. If anybody's got any questions, I'll cover as best I can. Obviously, remember, guys, go to www.fantasychampman.com. I think that's right, isn't it? I've cocked that up. Andrew might put it in the chat in case I've said that wrong. And obviously, if you haven't already, you can now register a team for new that will start officially from game week 20 for the second half of the season. But you can certainly have a play around and see how the formatting and the system works between now and then. Near Shakhtar, why didn't you triple captain join late today? It's all right. One of the things I spoke about was outweighing in terms of, I mean, triple captain in Van Nistelrooy is very much a defensive move, just to go with what everyone else is doing. What I tried to weigh up is, obviously I still got him, still captaining him. Was what I was going to lose in difference between captaining him and triple captainers? Was what I was going to lose going to be worse than what I think I might be able to gain somewhere else against a player who I think I could triple captain and not many might? And I decided that I think, and I don't know this, I decided that I think a better opportunity might come up, possibly for me, Henry in game week 23 is something I strongly consider. I think that they're likely to have some Newcastle and Southampton at home, maybe. So I might look at that when people are going to be in that Van Nistelrooy area, and I might be able to really push through on that. But I'm very open-minded about it. Wouldn't rule out a Hart or a Viduka for one of Leeds' double game weeks. So opportunities will come. I just decided what I thought I was going to lose out on when my initial reaction was, yeah, do it. I think it's not going to be as bad as what I might be able to gain. And there's no way of knowing when I haven't got a definitive plan on that, but that's the decision that I've made. Chris C, who was the better player, Van Nistelrooy or Van Persie? In my opinion, Van Persie, actually. Van Nistelrooy, a better goal scorer in terms of his predatory instinct. Van Persie was the better player. The Fantasy Champman guys have just put a poll out. We are back to having an early kickoff on Saturday, so they want your vote, obviously either now or obviously after the game or whenever, for what you want as the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. You can choose from Villa v Arsenal, Ipswich v Chelsea, Sunderland v Blackburn, and Fulham v Derby. My vote there for the early kickoff goes to Fulham v Derby. There you go. Go and vote for Fulham v Derby. Hitbox says, FBL Core, thanks to FBL Captain, was 3 beers this half. I just opened my third when he nailed the time. Drink responsibly. Block FBL says, why are Spurs losing is my question. I have Rebrov, Solakovic and Poyet need a comeback W. Yeah, it can still come. Don't worry about it. Thank you very much, Final Rishi, for your comment. Like the use of the green heart as well. Pete Squires says, do you work as well, Planet FPL, or are you going full-time with the pods? We've obviously launched our Patreon, which you can go and have a look at the details of that on my Twitter bio as well. So if enough people sign up to Patreon, yes, I'm going full-time. The Patreon is there to fund better audio, video, and time for us. And if the support is there, and we're going to make 10 podcasts a week a success, of which 5 will be free, and we'll do 5 podcasts for patrons, then yes, I'm going full time on it. I won't be doing anything else. We'll take a chance. So yeah, I need your support in it though. Sign up. Chris C, start 1, bench 1, sell 1. Berbatov, Keane, Defoe. I would start Berbatov, bench Defoe, and sell Robbie Keane. There you go. That was quite easy, wasn't it? Defoe would be the best as an impact sub. Berbatov is the best of the 3. And Robbie Keane really wanted to leave, didn't he? So fuck off. Paul Tinkler is the postman on furlough. Postman for the new players is Alan Johnson of Middlesbrough because of his very consistent returns in this game week. Alan Johnson is a quarter of the way into his game week, and he may not return. He might end up this game week with a 5-pointer, and it is what it is. Steve Jones, just going back to the Redbroth penalty on FM20, you can tick a box on your penalty takers to prioritise anyone on a hat-trick. Whether that was option 19 years ago, who knows? It definitely would not have been. No way. You could. I'm pretty sure you could list captainers. Well, you certainly got asked if you went to a penalty shootout. You might have only even had 1 listed, possibly. I can't recall. Obviously, in later versions, yeah, that's expanded to be able to do more. Alan Watt Daddy wasn't an option back then. Steve, that's in response to what I've just said. Marcin says, is a hot dog a sandwich? God, that question comes up a lot, doesn't it? Is a hot dog a sandwich? No, it's a fucking hot dog. As far as I'm concerned. No, it's not. An hot dog is an hot dog. It's not a sandwich. That's my opinion anyway. Alan Daddy's also responded to that AI comment about Redbroth. Barry Thomas Street. Is it possible to have a summary of the top 5 managers in the league each week? Are there any in this chat? I guess you'd have to ask the guys if they'd consider putting out I mean, they do put a tweet out of the top 3, don't they? It's very difficult to keep it in characters more than that. But I don't know. They might want to consider. I mean, they screenshot the leaderboard with it as well. I don't think they can do much more than that, to be honest. You don't get any medals beyond bronze, do you? Let's be honest. Thank you very much, Saint E. Bless you. Thank you. Ulrich Close. Remember I asked what food you would eat at 6 after the 24-hour stream. What did you go for in the end? Me and Suj didn't eat a lot, I'm not going to lie. And the one thing for me that some of the regular viewers may know is once I eat, that's it. I don't want to drink anymore and I wanted to party. So I had a sandwich in the morning. I had a bit of pasta, which I ate in, you know, like one of them meal deal pastas you get. I had one of them that I can't even remember what time, but I had like half and then I had like the other half about an hour later. And I had a bag of crisps. Definitely quite late. I don't know, like 3, 4 o'clock or something. I think that was it. That was all I ate. But that was enough. It was just like, okay, I need to eat something now, so eat rather than your man Suji was talking about getting burgers and shit. Would have killed him. I was like, don't do that. Cheers, Clean Sheet Wipeout. I know you're in there, mate. Thank you. And it was great to speak to you on the stream as well. You want to know who Clean Sheet Wipeout is, you can catch back up on the stream from the weekend. I think you were on the second chat we did, which was the first part of part 3. Patrick Lawson, I finally got the blue marker off my leg today. Well done, Patrick. Good man yourself. Alex Ball, thank you very much for the Planet FPL promotion at 8:55 in the chat. It's very kind of you. I'm not going to read that back out because it just sounds a bit self-absorbing, mate, but thank you. Feely M2, James, Robbie Keane just wanted to play for his childhood team. Yeah, Celtic and then LA Galaxy. When he went to LA Galaxy, he even took the piss out of himself, didn't he? He was like, yeah, I'm so happy to be with my boyhood team. Thank you, Hipok. I've seen your comments in there. It's very kind of you. Jamie Humphrey says, I think the game would be smart enough to give it to a player on a hat-trick. I don't think it would be, Jamie, to be honest, but I don't know. Maybe it did. Alan What Daddy, considering the United game is almost a write-off, Johnson is nearly halfway through. Nabla. Christopher C, is it a bap roll, cob, or bread roll? It's a fucking hot dog. Hot dog in a bread roll. There you go. Well, bread roll's a sandwich then, isn't it? No, it's a hot dog, mate. John D says, was Rebroff on the pitch when Selakovic scored a pen? Yeah, he must have been because he missed one and scored one. I'm certain he was, yeah. Yeah, he missed one and scored one. Selakovic scored one and missed one. I'm 99% sure Rebroff was on the pitch, yeah. Cole Coop believes that from some sims he's done that Johnston could well perform well against Manchester United in the second part of this double game week. I think kickoff time tomorrow is 12:30 PM, if I've got that right. If anyone's up for a bit of FPL draft style halfway side game, have a look at James Street's message. Final Richie's ready to send his co-manager Alex updates on Ruud van Nistelrooy goal updates. Thank you, Cole Coot. You can see all the details in terms of what's on offer for the patrons by just clicking on that link in my bio. I'm not going to bore people by talking about it too much. Hipok07 Legendary. Cole Coot, same for me, as I really want to watch the live meetups more than anything. I reckon them meetups are tons of fun. Planet FPL Live. Boom. Yeah, they're the bollocks, mate. Alan What Daddy. Selakovic has the best attribute for pens, usually his first choice. Captain is on the timer. As you might have guessed, the second halves are underway and we are about to go straight to St Mary's to hear about the Sami Hyypiä red card. I don't actually know that. They're doing one of them teasing tweets again. So I'm just waiting to come back and then tell you in a minute. My prediction is that Sami Hyypiä, because he's in my team and got an early booking, has been sent off. That's my prediction. I don't know what else there would have caused the drama. Now, Woodwork's been a hit. Almost a perfect start to the second half for the Reds. Emil Heskey, who missed a sitter in the first half, goes much closer here. He meets Biscan's cross on the volley, but sees his effort smack back off the bar. Unlucky. Andrew Martin confirming that, yes, 12:30 PM for Middlesbrough Manchester United tomorrow. By the way, Andy, I think that's spot on. Give James and you boys more time. Doesn't need to be 8 o'clock at night. It's fine. Do 12:30. I'm obviously not streaming for one game. It's 12:30 PM. But we can talk about it on my stream on Friday afternoon, which will be a similar time, which is ask James to come in, ask me shit. It's fun when I have to blag it when no one's asking questions. Cole Coot at Hippo. If the next meet up is in London, I have to go this time. Goal at the Stadium of Light. Leeds clean sheet wipe out. I didn't put the drama in that because I don't suppose too many have gone back to Ian Hart too quickly. Be interesting to see what his ownership does look like ahead of game week 18 though. Gavin McCann is the goal scorer. Assistant might be popular. It's Julio Arca from attacking left back. Has pulled Sunderland back into the game against Leeds. McCann, the scorer. Julio Arca with the assist. Gary Smith saying, when was Klinsmann and Dumitrescu at Spurs? 94-95, Gary. Ryan, must be a Fowler goal just to piss us Rebroff swappers off. No news as yet, but I am expecting a Robbie Fowler goal in this game. Late Riser saying, Biscan's doing first class dodging of points. Hip-Hop and Cole. I appreciate the live chat you're having about Planet FPL lives. There's the Fowler goal. Legitimately, Fowler's put Liverpool 3-1 up. Patrick Berger with the assist. That was a damn near certainty today. Robbie Fowler has scored. Patrick Berger with the assist. Liverpool do lead 3-1 at Southampton now. Rio Mills says no Calypso bit. I'm still waiting for my beer nuts delivery. DHL in for a slap. I sent them a message earlier. They were like, you need to rearrange delivery. And they do that shit with it. Like, they ain't tried to deliver, I'm telling you, because there's no way one of me and my missus ain't been here. So they haven't tried to deliver yet. Cheeky bastards. And to be fair, it doesn't even say they have. So I just put a message there saying, knock on the door! Exclamation mark. I should get it tomorrow. James Street went Melchot to heart. Good lad. Gary Smith says 94-95 Jesus in response to Dumitrescu and Klinsmann. I think he's saying it's a long time ago. It felt like Jesus was playing for us in the first couple of weeks. Then it went wrong. Villa have a fourth at Villa Park. Bosco Balaban is the scorer this time. Paul Merson with his second assist of the night. God, fucking indigestion tonight. Villa lead West Ham 4-1. If anybody's really surprised that Fowler scored tonight, I mean, I knew when I was selling him what I was coming in for, but then for me it was part to fund Beckham as well. So, all right, is what it is. I've still potentially I've got the rest of this game with Beckham and Boxic. I've got Wednesday to come with Beckham and Boxic, and I've got Fowler, who I definitely don't want in the squad long term, no matter what. I've got him out. So yeah, no problems. As soon as I see Benali and Monk together for Southampton, are you kidding me? Blackburn scored 3 at St Mary's when those two played in the back four. So it should come as no surprise. On the Gavin McCann goal for Sunderland. Sunderland come back into the first half well. Come back into the first half well and start the second really well. Bloody hell. I think it's... help if I could fucking read, wouldn't I? These beers are good. Sunderland came back into the first half well and start the second really well. Good play down the left by Arca as he picks out McCann in the box. He takes a touch, steadies himself and finishes low past Nigel Martin. Game on the Balaban goal for Villa. 2 assists for Stone, 2 assists for Merson, and that's the game beyond West Ham. Surely. Conceded 5 at Spurs at the weekend. Another 4 at Villa Park today with 40 minutes still to go. This time it's from open play. Merson whipping in a nice cross, which the Croatian stoops to head past Xhaka Histop. Villa replace Boateng with Ian Taylor on the Robbie Fowler goal. He couldn't do it at the weekend, but he can now. Fowler makes himself available for Berger's pass, makes a bit of room for the shot and whips it past Paul Jones. Liverpool, like they're happy to shut up shop now. Goal at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Jonathan Greening has his second return of the evening, an assist to go with his goal. And the postman has delivered. Alan Johnson has scored for Middlesbrough. 2-0 to Borough against Chelsea. Just past the 50-minute mark. Johnson the scorer. Greening with the assist. Borough lead 2-0. Postman on target. He will be in a fuckload of teams this game week, I should imagine. Whatever Clue saying it's hard for the Fowler to Redroth moves though. I nearly considered doing that. One of the things I spoke about on our podcast last night was talking about just going Fowler to Redroth because Spurs have a good run of fixtures. It ain't finished yet, is it? And Spurs have better fixtures to come as well. Postman delivers for a dominant Middlesbrough, so say the official account. Greening involved again, receiving the ball in the corner of the box before squaring to the Scot, who was left with the simplest of finishes to tap home. Middlesbrough comfortable here. Interesting. I mean, all my midfielders have returned. I don't think that's happened before. Got Beckham assist, Poyet assist, Johnston goal, Gerrard goal and assist. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. Definitely not playing 4 in midfield anyway. Fucking hell. Yeah, I got Sylvester and Crossley possibly on for a clean sheet, and Alan Stubbs, Van Nistelrooy goal. It's the forwards letting me down a bit at the moment, but I can't complain the way my game week's going. I've got quite a few returns there actually. just to find out that I still get a red arrow. Well done, James. You're on 80. Average is 90. What the fuck? Feels like that every week. A blow for Spurs, but I debate it. Spurs lose Dean Richards to injury. Ledley King is on his place. It's not a slant on Dean Richards. It's just Ledley's on, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Spurs have been expected to run away with this one, but it's been a really even affair so far. Obviously well behind run rate, but yeah, the good news is that Ledley's on. So things can definitely get better from here, I suggest. Vinyl Richie says, wow, since you started 13th, you run for number 1. Yes, when I tweeted my team out earlier, there was a typo. A few people saying, wow, I didn't know you were that high, James. Yeah, my overall rank was joint 137th. I missed out the 7 when I did the tweet. And the best bit is, I think generally everybody knew, bar like one person, that I really definitely wasn't 13th. Fowler scored again. No jokes. Robbie Fowler's put Liverpool 4-1 up at Southampton. Fowler again to score. And Stephen Gerrard has assisted again. Gerrard's 3rd return of the game, which is somewhat softening the blow of Fowler for me, because it was a tough call whether I sold Kumas or Gerrard for Beckham. And I kept Gerrard. Thinking I got lucky to get the final Kumas return last week. Now let's fuck him off. So, yeah, Fowler's got 2. It's definitely not a surprise since I see that Southampton team. Absolutely shocking. I'm getting information that it's getting a bit restless behind the goal at the Riverside. Chelsea fans are apparently calling for Claudio Ranieri's head. This could be a developing story. That's not been tweeted out by the official account, but that's someone I have inside info for, who's obviously at the Riverside. Information on the Fowler goal, the second one. I hope you didn't rage sell your Liverpool assets too soon, though I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. Another goal for Fowler. He gets on the end of another excellent Gerrard ball and prods past Jones. Igor Biscan owners, I am sorry. Jamie Redknapp has replaced him, timed at 54 minutes. And there's also a substitution at Villa Park. Gareth Barry has just come on to replace Alan Wright, while Rigobert Song and Olof Mellberg have both gone into the book for robust challenges. West Ham have actually shut up shop here. It looks like they're in damage limitation mode. Everyone's like, shut up, James. There's been another goal at St Mary's. He hasn't got a hat-trick, has he? Rory Delap has scored for Southampton. It's now Southampton 2, Liverpool 4. Goal scorer Rory Delap. There is no assister. Not from a long throw. Can't score from a throw. FPL captain, we might have seen a flaw with a Vidi printer, I've noticed. The fact that, because I think you've put in that Southampton has scored, he's shown up on the video. Ah, look, he's fixed it. My guy is such a G. It was saying Southampton 2, Liverpool 4, Fowler, and I was thinking, because he's putting that Southampton scored, it's probably fucked up the Vidi printer, but he absolutely nailed it. Instant response from the Saints. They attack from the kickoff and Ray crosses in. Dudek comes a long way to punch away, but only as far as Delap, who sends a delightful chip back over the pole's reach. Game on, question. Monk coming off for Richard Jones for Saints. As if it wasn't bad enough they got Paul Jones in goal. Now they got Richard Jones at the back. But I suspect losing Gary Monk is probably not the worst thing here. I have to do something that Bricky said, and Suja's on my case all the time. You don't tell people to like the video, James. If there's like 220 people watching your stream, you need to shout about it and say, get liking the video so we can get Planet FPL trending and stuff. So, yeah, you bastards. If you're in, I love you all on that. But give the video a thumbs up if you're having a good time this evening, and if you sold Robbie Fowler and you're having a bad time, still stick your thumbs up. Substitution at Portman Road. I'm feeling better about Gerrard now. When Kumas is having a quieter game, George Burley doesn't hesitate to bring him off early. Today he's replaced early by Jim Magilton. That is a big point swing potentially for me. Robert Perez and Maurizio Tirico have both been booked. There'll be chances for both sides. Ipswich perhaps unlucky to be behind, but they certainly do still trail Arsenal by a goal to nil. FPL fell. You kidding, mate? Alan Johnson scored Middlesbrough second. It's right there on the screen. Am I going mad? A. Johnson, 51. Hipok says, to be honest, I forget to like the live video streams. That's all right. It's not my instinct. I've got in the habit now of typing into the chat on the boys' Sunday night streams for everyone to give it a like, because it deserves way more likes. Is the chat being invaded again by people that are blocked and muted? Just ignore these people, guys. Best thing to do. Sitter at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland should 100% be level. Archer again, the architect. He crosses into the box where Emerson Tome is waiting to head home a simple finish, but he somehow misses. Sunderland unfortunate to be denied a penalty a few minutes ago too when Sabon was fouled. I mean, if you're Emerson Tome and a Kevin Phillips owner, that's a bad minute of play. I said Greening scored. No, I said Greening got the assist. I said Greening got both, and I said the postman's delivered. He scored. Alan Johnson scored. Rewind that shit. I was winding you up. I said Greening's got 2 returns. He assisted. Then I said the postman's delivered. He scored. If I didn't say that, I'm sorry. Alan Johnson scored from Middlesbrough. Wasn't that obvious? It's definitely Alan Johnson, guys. Substitutions at the Reebok. Oh, no, I'm human. I'm drinking. A few changes before 60 here. Kevin Nolan, who was booked, and Paul Warhurst go off for Diawara and Hansen. Charlton have replaced Gary McAllister with Graham Stewart. Charlton have been much better second half, really dominating things here now. They need to score soon, though. I mean, yeah, obviously. Oh, excuse me. If I said Greening scored, then sorry. Pep talk. I mean, you need to put that in the chat, mate, if I missed it. Sold Steven Gerrard and Robbie Fowler as part of a -8 this week. No returns from their replacementship. That's fucking blinding. You've won the game week, mate. You sold 2 players for a -8 and they've got 5 returns with half hour to go. Nice. Heno saying, Defo said Greening got the assist. Someone's sticking up for me. Steve Jones says, yeah, James, you said Greener's second return, not second goal. I'm 99% sure I started by saying Greening has his second return. He's got the assist and the postman has delivered. Johnson has scored. But in any case, yes, to clarify, Alan Johnson scored. So I'll have to stop doing the exciting wind-ups because, yeah. Substitutions, though, at the Riverside. Noel Whelan has replaced Hamilton Rickard a few minutes ago. I'm guessing that's pre the hour. While Paul Ocon is now on for Dean Windass, and Gianfranco Zola is coming off to be replaced by Benito Carbone. Ugo Egiog and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank have both been booked. Middlesbrough, according to the official account, are cruising. Substitutions at Old Trafford. We had a change of piece here on 60 minutes. Andy Cole is on for Dwight York, while Leicester have replaced Dean Sturridge with Arne Gunnlaugsson. Jordan Stewart is now going to replace James Scowcroft. Remember when that bastard scored every week? That's gone quiet. David Beckham has been booked for United. We're all good, guys. It's all part of the fun. No problem at all. I like Patrick Lawson's comment. You said it right, James. I remember it like it was yesterday. That definitely wins the chat, mate. Fair game. Costadine T, a Teddy goal assisted by Seller, and I'll be laughing. Yeah, we need some Spurs goals now. No more pissing about, guys. Substitutions for both sides at Portman Road. Arsenal replaced Ray Parlour with Dennis Bergkamp as they look to increase their creativity, while Ipswich make a double change up top as they hunt for a goal. Pablo and Fanidi off for Rouser and Armstrong. I would have thought the Bergkamp change for Arsenal means Bergkamp going to central midfield position where he'll be able to push on, and Robert Perez will go wide. Pete Squires is complaining about the amount of likes that this video's got. I'm not complaining. You know, if it's got likes, it's got likes. I'm happy. FPL Chancellor cannot believe how pointless Dwight York has been in this. Astonishing. No attacking returns this season. Starting nearly every week for the best team in it. Incredible. Stunning, really. Right, I'm now going to go and check how many. Oh, wow. West Ham United. You are fucking shit. 5-1 to Villa. Paul Merson now has a goal to add to his assist. Lee Hendry has the assist. Villa lead West Ham 5-1 at Villa Park. It's going well for Alex McLeish, isn't it? Villa 5, West Ham 1, 25 minutes to go. Merson with his third return this evening, a goal and 2 assists. Lee Hendry this time with the assist. I mean, I see a lot of likes in this video now, guys, so I want to say thanks very much. Bradley Parker's looking for copyright money. From he says if David Beckham's watching, you can DM him. I'm sure Bex is is watching. I've seen FPL Irons message. You want to lower them fucking irons, mate. It's not going well, is it? Goal. Big one. Old Trafford. Ruud van Nistelrooy, the goal scorer. Assist for Ryan Giggs. Van Nistelrooy has his second assist for Ryan Giggs. Manchester United lead Leicester 3-0. Van Nistelrooy has his second assist for Ryan Giggs. And someone, definitely not me, has deleted my Ruud van Nistelrooy chanting video. I can't find it. That was hence the reason for the big pause. I was going to let you have that one, but yes, I've lost it. I need to get a new one. Bad times. Bad times. 3-0 United. Van Nistelrooy second. Information on the Paul Merson goal for Villa. What a great goal. Nice build-up play by Villa. Ends with Hendry knocking the ball to Merson about 25 yards out. He spots Hislop off his line and sends a wonderful lob finished over him. Don Hutchison is on for Michael Carrick. And on the Van Nistelrooy goal, he's got his second of the night. And this one is much more like what you'd expect. Giggs crosses to the near post and the Dutchman gets in front of his man to glance a header past Flowers. How many more can he grab? And suddenly Veron triple captainers are on the back foot. Big goal, big goal. All I want to do is do it. Big goal, big goal. Graham S says, suddenly feeling a triple captainship burning a hole in my pocket. Yeah, I mean, at this stage, I probably wish I'd played it as well. If I can hit green and he still goes mental when I haven't done it. Goal for Liverpool at St Mary's. Robbie Fowler and Stephen Gerrard are not involved. Emil Heskey is finally on the score sheet. Assist for Danny Murphy. Liverpool now lead Saints by 5-2. Night, Harry. Love you, mate. Good night, pal. Be nice. Be nice. He's normally a fucking shit, isn't it? I mean, he's the best. He's the best. Bless him. It's hard for the kids in this weather, I think. It's so hot. So, yeah, Liverpool lead Saints by 5-2. Heskey with a goal. Murphy with the assist. Anurag saying, where is Boxic? Boxic is just sorting himself out for Man United tomorrow. Liverpool finally showing something. I mean, it's easy to say, and obviously, but yeah, once I see that Saints team, I think if I'd have seen that Saints team, I wouldn't have sold Fowler, knowing Benali and Monk at centre half. That's abysmal. And I feel like maybe I missed something there with Lundekvam being unavailable, so might have cost myself. But then, look, got Beckham in. He's returned, although he's been booked as well. Got boxes in. They've still got the app appearances to go and possibly returns to come. So it might not be too much for a blow, actually. And listen, the Fowler weren't staying in long term anyway, as I said. Surely that's it now, says the official account. Patrick Berg crosses into the box. Murphy gets a nice flick on. Heskey has the momentum on Richard Jones and heads past Paul Jones to cap a wonderful move. Fowler's been booked for Liverpool and Oakley's on for Benali. Probably means Delap the centre half, Petrescu the right back and Oakley in midfield would be my guess. Average Driver says we need another Henri red. Bring in Harry. Graham S says, what are Tottenham doing? Aren't Derby abysmal? The thing with Tottenham is just about scoring the opposition. Tottenham are quite abysmal as well. You obviously didn't get that memo, no. But Tottenham are much higher in this league than what the quality of their squad is really. Defensively is shit, man. Clean sheet wipeout saying, have they gone home at Craven Cottage? Always a risk when Blackburn are away from home, my friend. There are still 6 clean sheets remaining as we head into the final 20 minutes. Bolton, Everton, Fulham, Blackburn, Arsenal, Manchester United, Middlesbrough. You might have noticed I can't count. That's 7. Substitution at Craven Cottage. A blow for Fulham here. Steve Marley can't continue after a heavy tackle. Is now the time. They bring on Louis Sahar on his place. Not a bad sub for a team like Fulham. That's dark. James O'Mahony says, I didn't sell Fowler. Sunderland have a penalty at the Stadium of Light. This time it is given. Lucas Radaby clatters Phillips in the box as he looks to turn. Incredibly, the ref doesn't give it, but the linesman is flagging after consulting. He awards it rightly. Phillips to take, obviously. We await news on that. I don't know if Pete would come off. Kevin Phillips is still in mine. I've had such a good day. I'm waiting for the miss here, to be very honest with you. I feel like I've had returns from nearly everybody, so I'm just waiting for the shockery of the miss. Brian Yule, Blackburn's 10 men behind the boys while went Corrigan over Hippier. Yeah, don't mind that as a move, mate. Genuinely. We await news on that Phillips penalty. Scored. Oh, man, what's going on with my videos? Super Kevin Phillips has scored anyway. Someone's been hacking my mobile. It's probably the missus. I hope she hasn't found what she needs to find. Kevin Phillips has equalised for Sunderland. It's 2-2 at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 2, Leeds 2. Phillips on the score sheet. Obviously no assist because he won that penalty himself. Right. Plenty still going on. Just over 18 minutes to go. Ed Cannon says he sold Marley for Phillips. Ryan Ritchie's happy with a Phillips. So too David Strom. Patrick Lawson less happy. Lots of miss. Unlucky, pal. Phillips keeps his cool and sends Martin the wrong way to score. Leeds replaced Rio Ferdinand with Jonathan Woodgate just before the penalty was taken, while McCann, who was poor apart from his goal, was taken off much earlier for Nicholas Medina. So 2-2. Sunderland obviously come back from 2-0 down now against Leeds. I wouldn't be surprised if they turn that all the way round now. Having a good little spell, Sunderland. Bradley Parker, this is the only time in my life I've cheered Phillips scoring a goal. You cheered at Bradley. Welcome to the game, mate. Bill Woollyback says he works his points out to be 375 and the red arrow. FPL Corf. There's going to be some huge scores here. Yeah, I'm on more returns than players at the moment. And with the Van Nistelrooy triple captaincy, the final 0-0 of the afternoon is gone. And it didn't take long. Louis Saha has given Fulham the lead at Craven Park. Craven Park? The fuck, man? What kind of shithole is that? At Craven Cottage. And Stolzers has the assist. Fulham lead Blackburn by a goal to nil. Saha, the scorer. Stolzers, the assist. Fulham lead Blackburn by a goal to nil. Every game now has a goal. Bricky saying, who's top goal scorers now? Yeah, I think that's in response to those who might have been suggesting earlier that Henry had gone top. Van Nistelrooy, I believe, is now on 11 goals for the season. Henry on 10. FPL Numbers says Phillips has become annoying. No, Phillips was a good buy. Fulham have deserved their lead. Their dominance deserves. Excuse me. Stolzers, excuse me again, crosses low from the left. Berg gets a touch, but it still bubbles through to its intended target. Saha, he gathers up the loose ball and strikes it past Kelly with fury. Good finish. Lots in this community have Stolzers. Very popular in the chats. Always when he returns, it feels like Stolzers. It feels like everybody that owns him watches this stream. That's how it feels. Look at Leicester, currently down to 17th as it stands. Not so long ago, they were pushing the top 6. They've had an awful run. Sorry, apologies. Van Nistelrooy on 12 goals for the season. 2 more than Henry. I didn't want to kick the Lewis Bowen Morte owners while they were down David Strom, so I just thought I'd go Lewis Saha. Substitutions at Goodison. Please take off Alan Stubbs. I'll bank the clean sheet. Everton now replace Xavier and Gascoigne with Unsworth and Edan Tell. Much earlier on 53 minutes, Newcastle brought on for Olivier Bernard with Craig Bellamy pushed wide. It's been poor today. When there have been chances, they've usually been off target. George Salt says Craven Park is the home of rugby league team Hull KR. So I wasn't wrong then. It's got to be a shithole, isn't it? Vinyl Richie says all credit to Disable for Stolzer since game week 5. For those new, you've got to get on Luke's videos. I unfortunately have not had a chance to watch his videos this week, but I will catch on up with them. They're absolutely brilliant. Late Riser 12 says, James, we need a Redbroth goal. There's not too much I can do about that. Clean sheet, wipe out. At the Reebok, Jonathan Johansson has scored for Charlton. Assist is Mark Kinsella's. Charlton have scored at Bolton. It's now 3-1 there. Johansson with the goal. Mark Kinsella with the assist. Pete Squire says, don't you remember Stolzers? Was he brought into Fulham on this game? No, I think he was there. Someone in the chat can confirm. Yeah, I think the theme looking through the chat is, we often say it, don't we, about good weeks and bad weeks. This could be a bad week to be missing out on some of these returns. Some big returns knocking about, I think. What do we think at this stage, guys, with Middlesbrough United still to go tomorrow? What do we reckon game week average? Hello, Jeff Holt. I see you there in the chat. On the Johansson goal, why didn't Charlton play like this in the first half? They've had an excellent 45 minutes. 32 minutes into it. Johansson, recently on for Yule, gives them a deserved way back into the game. After good work from Wilcox, he receives Kinsella's pass and finishes low. Jack Tasker says, has Landes been subbed on? Not to my knowledge, mate. Christoph Sam's asking for Vinyl Richie and Late Riser 12 to get a room. I think there's quite a distance between those rooms, guys, but, you know, get yourself a Zoom room or something. Ed Cannon says, with triple captain, I'm on 8 goals, 2 assists, 3 cleanies. That's massive. Optimus Prime saying, really, my bench must have 25 points. Goal at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Mario Stanic has scored for Chelsea. No assister. Middlesbrough's clean sheet is gone. Mario Stanic, the scorer for Chelsea. Clean sheet for Middlesbrough, gone. No assister. Guess on averages seem to be anywhere between about 65 and an estimate of 90 if Van Nistelrooy can add another one in the next game and 10 minutes. Big. You have to be engaged in this game to do well in it, or you get left behind on a game week like this. But most seem to think probably around about 75. I think that's about right. That's probably where I'd have gone. A few as low as 65, a few saying over 80s and that. It's a scrappy goal. The ball ping-ponging around the box before Stanic pounces and fires past Crossley from 12 yards. Chelsea have really come back into the game in the last 15 minutes, and now they're one goal away from a result. Quite a few, I think, on double Middlesbrough clean sheet as well. Gordon owners can obviously take solace from having the attack in return earlier in the game. But probably a blow for Crossley Southgate egg yolk owners, I would say. Woody back saying the average will reduce with that Chelsea goal. That's absolutely very true. Joe Jenkins says, I think I'm dropping from 33rd to 3. I'm in a 33rd this week. Oh dear. I wouldn't bank on it, Joe. It could be worse than that. Alan Mott Daddy, wonder if that's almost positive for me with only one Borough defender. I wouldn't have thought so. Boys in the net again at Craven Cottage, but it's been disallowed. Marcus Bent had scored for Blackburn. It's been ruled out. Two-guy plays a lovely ball over the top for Bent, who connects with it perfectly to send it past Van der Sar. Unfortunately for him, the linesman had already flagged him offside. Blackburn finally coming out their shells. They are brain damage. Because I think they're actually a half-decent side in this. It's really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. Optimus says on his bench he has Svensson, Harley and Gerrard. Yeah, there's like 2 goals, 2 assists and a possible clean sheet in there, mate. Graham S is asking for full time. Andrew Martin says stats are incoming. Okay, interested. I've got my phone at the ready, mate. You DM me that shit and I'll relay to everyone what the crack is. Pep Talk, who confirms that he took that -8 to sell Fowler and Heskey, Fowler and Gerrard earlier. That says that one of the players he bought was Rickard, who obviously went off for Borough, and I have an update from there now. Borough showing why they're flying so high now. They've recovered well since Chelsea scored and are controlling the game again. Nemeth on for Boksic after the goal went in. If Chelsea can't find another, you sense this could be the end for Ranieri. Now they're confirming what I'd heard earlier, that the fans potentially chanting for Ranieri to go. I have some ownership numbers. Top 300. Van Nistelrooy 87%. Jesus Christ. Alan Johnson 63%. Most bought in this week. I'm not going to do the numbers. I'll just go through the top ones. 5 players above 100. Silvestre was most. I'll interrupt that. Goal. Villa have a sick at Villa Park against West Ham. Christ. Dion Dublin to score another assist for Lee Hendry. Villa lead West Ham 6-1. Bloody hell. Silvestre most. New owners 170. Van Nistelrooy, Boksic, Rebroff, Beckham. All bought by over 100. Gordon, Blanc, Selakovic, Johnston, Veron, Fester, Rickard. All popular. Robbie Fowler, who scored twice for Liverpool, lost 303 owners. Scowcroft, Ashley Cole lost in excess of 125. Others most sold: Sturridge, Henshaw, Hippier, Heskey, Hegum, Gerrard, Omri, Malbronk. Quite a few of them have returned actually. Captaincy. I have the number of Van Nistelrooy triple captains. 71.1% is his captaincy. I don't have the triple captaincy. Sorry. 71% of Captain Ruud van Nistelrooy. That feels low. 969 people in total. 6% Captain Henry. 5% Veron. 2.5% Beckham and Shearer. Shearer's obviously dead, seems. Still 1.7% Captain Fowler. Forgot to do their team, maybe. They'll wake up happy. Just over 1% Captain Hasselbank as well. Also feels dead. 11 people Captain Viduka. 9 Boxic. 8 Rebrov. Only 8 people Captain Sergei Rebrov. I don't have the triple captaincy numbers, but obviously they're quite clearly huge numbers for Van Nistelrooy. It's actually lower than I thought. I don't have how many Van Nistelrooy's had in total, but I've just had it passed to me. 321 triple captaincy played. Obviously not all necessarily on Van Nistelrooy. So roughly about a third of Van Nistelrooy's ownership used the triple captainship. So nowhere near, I'd say, as high as I thought. So you're probably looking around about a third of Van Nistelrooy captainers of triple captained him. That's roughly how it looks, I think, to give you a kind of gauge of that. Late change for Sunderland. Kevin Phillips replaced by Les Landes. Les Landes on as they search for a winner. Will they go long towards the big men Sibon and Les Landes now? Pretty even game, but both sides will be hoping for a winner. For Phillips owners, the fact he's gone off probably a suggestion that he may not be in the bonus. Possibly bad news there. Obviously bad news that he's gone off, but possibly leads a suggestion that he may be out the bonus for them to withdraw their star man with 5 minutes to go. May mean he's not having the best game. Bradley Parker's asking if Roberto is in goal for West Ham. Not a lot of difference, although Shaka Hislop is an upgrade. Yellow card at the Reebok. Charlton have continued to push in the second half. They've been so much better. Unfortunately for them, their finishing has been woeful. Bartlett and Yule both guilty. Pedersen has also just been booked for Bolton for a hard late tackle on Sean Bartlett. 5 minutes to go. The other thing obviously to suggest is that it is 29% of not Captain Ruud van Nistelrooy at all. Big. I can confirm 280 treble captaincies on Van Nistelrooy out of his 969 owns. Even that is not as high. So there's 41 other triple captains played. And there are 5 players they were used on. Veron, you would probably guess. Beckham, you'd guess. Boxic, York, and Silvestre. Triple captains have been played on those players as well. Clean sheet, wipeout. Arsenal's is gone late. Not for the first time this season. Jermaine Wright is the goal scorer with Ipswich for Ipswich. With 3 minutes to go at Portman Road. Arsenal's clean sheet is bust kaput. 1-1 between Ipswich and Arsenal. Come on, Spurs, do something. Clean sheet still hanging on just for 3 teams now. Everton, Fulham, Man United. If Newcastle don't score, I'll be as happy with Alan Stubbs' return as anything, I think. Alan Mott Daddy, come on Spurs, get an equaliser at least. Information on the Jermaine Wright equaliser for Ipswich. Ipswich get an equaliser they more than deserve. Royce's superb long-range strike is too hot for Seaman to handle, and Wright rushes in first to slam the rebound home. And we've got a major incident from the restart now. Red card incoming for Arsenal. I have no confirmation on the player, but I can tell you an Arsenal player has been sent off. News to follow on that. Wow, all go right to the very end in this. We await information on that Arsenal clean sheet. Imagine you've got like a David Seaman who's just conceded and he gets clean sheet. Fucking hell, James. Drink some more beer. And he gets sent off as well. In the scuffle from the melee from the goal. You never know, right? But I imagine with Ashley Cole missing, there's probably not too many there. Thierry Henry has not been sent off. Sorry, I just see all the comments saying Henry. The red card has gone to Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Silly by the Dutchman. He miscontrols and in trying to make amends lunges into a reckless two-footed challenge on goalscorer Jermaine Wright. Straight red card. Looks like a free-game ban. Portman Road is rocking. Surely Ipswich can't snatch a win. Hold on. Hold on. In capital letters. It's coming. Have Arsenal thrown it away? Wow. We are anticipating further news then from Portman Road. Incredible. Goal! Herman Hreidarsson for Ipswich. He's going to go mental. Herman Hreidarsson has scored for Ipswich with a minute to go. Jamie Clapham with the assist. My Alan Stubbs clean sheet looks shit now. Hreidarsson the goal scorer for Ipswich with a minute to go. Jamie Clapham with the assist. Oh my God. Real Mills calling me a bumper. Yes, I'm a bumper. Hreidarsson the goal scorer sitting first on my bench. Bloody hell, his returns fucking everywhere. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is late drama. Late. There's so many people are going to go mental about that. I'm not even going to be able to keep up with the chat, but well done to Hreidarsson owners who still played him today in spite of playing at home to Arsenal. Yeah, that's my differential Alan Stubbs clean sheet out the window. Looked like a great shout. There's a goal at White Hart Lane. Derby have a third. Carbonari is the goal scorer. Assist goes to Daryl Powell. Derby are going to get the points there at White Hart Lane, which is going to take them up to around about 14th. Unfortunately, I can tell you this as a Spurs fan that eventually they will catch up with you and let you down. Carbonari the scorer, assist for Daryl Powell. Derby lead 3-1 at White Hart Lane. You will see the clock has stopped at 90 minutes. Not back after you drink. Those playing the game, please drink responsibly. But games are still ongoing. And for those watching for the first time, that means anything can still happen, basically. 3-1 Derby. Wow. Are we expecting anything else late on in this? Incredible finish involving well, obviously Arsenal there. Wow, that's stunning. I do like to throw it away at the death. On the Hreidarsson goal, Ipswich score a second goal in 3 minutes to snatch what will surely be a win here. And it's a popular scorer. From the free kick Van Bronckhorst gave away, Clapham swings in a lovely ball and Hreidarsson powers a header past Seaman. On the Carbonari goal, Carbonari seals the win for Derby and gets his second attacking return of the night. I don't know why he's up there at this stage, but Daryl Powell plays a lovely pass into the Argentine and he lashes the ball past Keller. Game over. By the way, selfish comment, sell myself for a minute. If you're wondering what you're going to do when this stream finishes, within a couple of minutes of this stream ending tonight, I'll be posting the audio and the video for today's quiz, which is 20 questions, possible 30 answers, all based on game week 38 in the Premier League between 1996 and 2019. It's a bit late, but I love him. Ledley scored. Goal for Spurs, Ledley King. And another assist for Simon Davis. Spurs 2, Derby 3. We couldn't, could we? And everyone goes, what? I could have dramatised that and gone late goal for Spurs. I should have, really. But if you do it all the time, then people just think you're taking the piss. Ledley King goal, Simon Davis assist, and we're losing. So I'm not particularly happy. Do you know what I mean? Jar. Someone called me a bumper, which I'm cool. I'll take that as a compliment, really. A few people asked, someone's asking about Scowcroft. Yes, he was subbed earlier in the game. So, yeah, to clarify, Spurs 3-2 down now. Ledley King with a goal, Simon Davis with the assist. Harbour Boy saying, yeah, I'm shit on the quiz. Game not over after all. Question, ask the official account. Spurs right back in it, scoring from centre. Davis advances with the ball before crossing for King, who has taken upon himself to push forward, and he easily outjumps King Clancy to give Spurs a glimmer of hope. I love that when they go, yeah, Zola got mugged off at the back post and stuff like that. They're my favourite ones. Andrew Martin's put in, you think it's finished now? Question. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done. That's why I didn't do the drama, because I've got the insight that Spurs are about to equalise, isn't it? You know, Redruff goal, Redruff assist, Redruff goal kick, Redruff takes corner. Beat Squares, Andrew knows. I think the fact that Andrew Might has put it in the chat suggests that it's finished, I would say. FPL captain, turn them red, my man. We are full time across the board. Only clean sheets belong to Everton, Fulham and Manchester United. Villa beat West Ham 6-1. Bolton beat Charlton 3-1. There were 1-0 wins for Everton and Fulham respectively. Fuck me, a Fulham clean sheet. Ipswich beat Arsenal 2-1. Manchester United beat Leicester 3-0. A goal for Veron, 2 for Van Nistelrooy. Middlesbrough beat Chelsea 2-1. The postman, Alan Johnson, amongst the scorers, delivering again. Liverpool got 5 at Southampton, including 3 attacking returns for Steven Gerrard and 2 goals for Robbie Fowler. Sunderland came back from 2 down to draw 2-2 with Leeds. Mark Viduka had scored twice for Leeds. Phillips amongst the Sunderland scores. And Derby held on for a 3-2 win at Tottenham. For those joining in for new, if you want to hang about, obviously I'll go through all the bonus points. Bonus points in this game, absolutely crucial to where your game week lands. If you think you're at the middle in terms of red arrow, green arrow, then you'll very quickly find out on these streams that when the bonus points hit, you'll find out what the difference is, because you can nail down some serious bonus points in this game. A reminder from the official guys that tomorrow's Middlesbrough Manchester United game kicks off at 12:30 p.m. Follow that game on at Fantasy Champman on Twitter. It allows the guys to update the sheets before game week 18 without staying up all through the night. Massive applause to the 4 guys involved with the running the game. Hope you'll join us at lunchtime for that. It promises to be a cracker. Bonus and save points coming up in 1 minute. As I said, as soon as I close down this stream, I'm going to post a video for our Game Week 38 Premier League quiz, and I'll tweet out the audio as well. We just await bonus points. I hope your arrows are green. Very hard to say at the moment, I guess, in terms of where this is going to go. For bonus points, we will start at Villa Park. Wow, didn't see this coming, but FF Scout _ Luke called this perfectly. Props to him. Man, I should have watched the video. Could Villa attack be one to target under new gaffer King Kenny Dalglish? Top bonus goes to Lee Hendry. 2 bonus points to Dion Dublin. 1 bonus point to Paul Merson, Steve Stone. 1 save point each for Peter Schmeichel and Shaka Hislop. There were 3 yellow cards in the match. Rigobert Song, Olof Melberg and Bosco Balaban. Hendry's man of the match performance was a 10 out of 10 rating. Dion Dublin, who scored a hat-trick and only picks up 2 bonus, also 10 out of 10. Fucking missed amongst them goals that Dublin even got the hat-trick, to tell you the truth. It was easy to lose track of them. Villa's subs were Barry for Alan Wright on 55, Boateng for Ian Taylor on 49. West Ham replaced Carrick on 66 with Hutchinson. Hayden Fox came on for Ian Breckin on 75. West Ham's only performers to score more than 6 out of 10 that started were Kamara 7 out of 10 and goal scorer Jermaine Defoe scored an 8 out of 10 rating. On to Bolton. Top bonus unsurprisingly goes to 2-goal hero Henrik Pedersen. There were 2 bonus points for Michael Ricketts. 1 bonus point for Neil Madison, Nicky Saville, Colin Cooper, Robert Lee, Rodney Wallace and Mark Kinsella. 1 save point bonus for Dean Kiley. 2 bookings in the match for Henrik Pedersen and Kevin Nolan. Nolan was replaced on 52 minutes by Diawara. Paul Warhurst lost a clean sheet, although the rest of his teammates did as well, replaced on 59 by Bo Hansen. Charlton had replaced Gary McAllister with Graham Stewart on 59. Johansson came on for the disappointing Jason Newell on 68. McAllister and Charlton's Luke Young amongst those to score 5 out of 10 ratings in that match. West Ham had too many 5 out of 10s for me to mention them all. On to Fulham. Top bonus goes to Blackburn Rovers goalkeeper Alan Kelly, who also picks up 1 save point bonus. 2-point bonus goes to Mark Hughes of Blackburn and a number of Fulham players. John Harley, Alan Gomar, Andy Melville, Lewis Boamorte, Steve Marley, Stolzers, and goal-scoring hero and substitute Lewis Sahar. Fulham's substitutes were pre-the-hour, Finnan for Goldbeck. Steve Marley went off injured, replaced by Sahar on 69. Sylvan Legwinski went off in injury times, replaced by Lee Clark. Marlon Brooms made an injury time appearance for Blackburn in place of Graham Lasso. David Dunn also made a late appearance to replace Craig Hignett. And Marcus Bent came on for Janssen on 51 minutes. Top bonus at the Riverside goes to Mario Stanic of Chelsea. 2 bonus points for Ugo Egiog. 1 for Alan Johnston. 1 for Jonathan Greening. 1 for Dean Gordon. 1 for John Terry. 1 save point bonus for both keepers, Crossley and Kudachini. Egiog and Hasselbank were booked in the match. Whelan had replaced Rickard on 54 minutes. Ocon came on for Windass on the hour, 60 minutes. Nemeth replaced Boksic with 13 minutes to go. With Boksic's injury issues, that might not be a bad thing for him to have missed the end of that game and be ready for Manchester United tomorrow, owners will hope. Carboni replaced Zola on the hour. Emmanuel Petit was replaced by Mario Melchior on 71. So only Melchior owners, he did come on in that match. Hasselbank's rating in the match was a 5 out of 10. Stanish's man of the match was an 8 out of 10. Interestingly, Egiog got a 9 out of 10. But as we know, the guys will give top bonus to the person officially awarded man of the match. And that was Stanic. Top bonus at St Mary's goes to Liverpool's Stephen Gerrard. There were 2 bonus points for Danny Murphy and 1 for Emil Heskey, which is fascinating. See why. Gerrard's man of the match performance was a 10 out of 10. Danny Murphy also given a 10 out of 10. Emil Heskey, 9 out of 10 rating. Carragher, Hippier, Fowler, Redknapp. A little unlucky to be outside the bonus. So too Southampton's Dan Petrescu. They all had 8 out of 10s, but don't pick up bonus. Southampton replaced Monk with Jones on 58. Oakley replaced Bernardi on 65. Liverpool replaced Hencho in the 91st minute with Stephen Wright. Jamie Redknapp replaced Igor Biscan on 53 minutes. Carragher, Hippier, Fowler, all booked for Liverpool. So a 0-point return for Sami Hippier in spite of an 8 out of 10 rating. Top bonus at Tottenham goes to Horatio Carbonari, 2 attacking returns of Derby County. There is a huge number of players in a 2-point bonus. There are 11 in total. Anderton, Bunjevcevic, Poyet, Rebroff, Davis, Sir Ledley King, Mark Poom, Darryl Powell, Ravanelli, Christie, Valakari. All 2 bonus points for all 11 of those. 1 save point bonus for Keller and 2 for Mark Poom as well. So plenty of efforts on goal in this fixture. Sole booking in the match went to Tottenham's Gus Poyet. What you do that for? Carbonari's man of the match performance was a 9 out of 10 rating. Spurs' sole change was Ledley King for the injured Dean Richards on 52 minutes. Keller in goal for Spurs with a 5 out of 10 rating in spite of picking up the save points. He is disastrous. Derby subs were Kinclardsey for Burley on 60. Johnson for Higginbottom on 67. Rigger for Iranio on 72. To Goodison Park. Top bonus goes to David Weir. There were 2 bonus points for Maurizio Tirico. 2 bonus points for Titus Bramble. 1 save point for Matteo Sereni and David Seaman. The fuck have I done now? Let's try that again, shall we? Top bonus at Goodison Park goes to David Weir. 2 bonus points for Alan Stubbs, Gary Naismith, Thomas Gravison, Joe Maxwell, Warren Barton, Alan O'Brien. No save point bonus, obviously. Sapuntis was the only player, but Aloy replaced Bernard on 53. Everton's changes were all after the 73 mark. Towell, Unsworth, Clark on for Xavier Gascoigne, and an injury potentially for Everton's Scott Gemmell. I might have given the game away there. I was slurring my words. Can't remember. At Portman Road, fantastic late drama with 2 very late goals for Ipswich to grab a win and cancel out Henri's strike. Check out those 3 bonus point players. Absolute bonus machines. Top bonus goes to Herman Haridason, of course. 2 bonus points to Maurizio Tirico and Titus Bramble. Yeah, Alan Stubbs. That 8 point is just not enough, is it? Haridason there with an 11 pointer. I make that brilliant. Well done, owners. Bonus there for Tirico, Bramble as well. 1 save point, Sereni Seaman. Van Bronckhorst sent off. There were bookings for Tirico and Robert Perez. Ipswich had replaced Kumas on 56 minutes with Jim Magilton. There were also changes just after the hour. Front 2, Pablo Infinide replaced by Martin Reusser and Alan Armstrong. Dennis Bergkamp had come on for Ray Parlour on 61. Wiltord had come on for Albertini on 85. Van Bronckhorst red card was with 2 minutes to go. Only 2 players in the bonus points at the Stadium of Light. Top bonus goes to Mark Viduka, who scored twice, 9 out of 10 rating, and 2 bonus points for Julio Arca. He's the only other player in the game to receive more than a 7 out of 10 rating. Fascinating. So Arca with an 8 out of 10, 2 bonus points for Viduka, man of the match, 9 out of 10. Leeds sole change was Woodgate for Ferdinand, as we knew, on 68. Medina replaced McCann on 57. And Phillips, we knew, went off for Leslandes with 5 minutes to go. No save points in that fixture. We missing anything important? I don't know. Top bonus at Old Trafford goes to Ruud Van Nistelrooy. There are also 2 bonus points for Gary Neville and Juan Sebastian Veron. 1 save point bonus for Fabian Barthez. Again, no save point bonus for Leicester's Tim Flowers. Van Nistelrooy's man of the match rating a 10 out of 10. Veron and Neville both picking up 9s. Majority of United players, Silvestre, Johnson, Blanc, Giggs, substitute Andy Cole, all 8 out of 10s. A little bit unlucky not to be in the bonus. Leicester's only players to score more than a 6 out of 10 were McAnuff, Taggart and Delaney. Taggart and Delaney probably because of key headers won defensively. United's sole change was Andy Cole for Dwight York on 60 minutes precisely. Leicester replaced Sturridge with Gunlugson in the same minute. Jordan Stewart came on for James Scowcroft 5 minutes later. Those are your bonus points. No player stat screenshots tonight. We'll be saving those for after the 12:30 Middlesbrough Manchester United game, so the official account. We also have no sexy screenshot of the league table, I'm afraid. The double game week oversight on our part. You can see it bottom right hand corner on our stream at the moment. The league table and top goal scorers, assists, etc. is live. But we have a quick rundown coming up before the full one tomorrow. So Middlesbrough and Manchester United joint top on 40 points before they play each other, crucially, tomorrow. Spurs and Arsenal, 3rd and 4th on 32 points. That gap has opened up. Arsenal's 8 points difference to United now. Big. United win tomorrow. You can nearly cancel this league table. It's finished. I have Middlesbrough on 37 points, by the way, official count, not on 40 points, unless you're already preempting, spoiler, that Middlesbrough are going to win tomorrow. Ah! Could you imagine? Leeds on 29 points, Liverpool and Ipswich 28 points, Villa 25 points, Blackburn 24 points, Bolton up to 10th, 23 points, Sunderland doing much better now, up to 22 points with Charlton. Good win for Everton, 21 points with Derby. Also had a good win. Fulham on 20 points, as are Chelsea. Chelsea down to 16th. Ranieri is dead man walking. Leicester on 17 points. Newcastle 15 points. Southampton 13 points. West Ham 11 points. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We hope whether it was your first week or your 17th that you enjoyed it. Reminder from Game Week 20, the game will be moving to www.fantasychampman.com for both new and existing players. Leaderboards coming soon, we hope. And you don't need to follow the Twitter account tomorrow because I've already given the spoiler that Middlesbrough are beating Manchester United. Imagine. I obviously don't know if that's true. I'm just noting the difference that Middlesbrough on 37 points and they put 40 points. Anyway, that's it from me tonight. If you're at a loose end now, please feel free to catch up with yesterday's main podcast. We reflected on our 24-hour stream. That's in my pinned tweet. I'm going to release the audio is already released, I'm told, and the video is going to be released shortly. I'll tweet that out for our quiz that we did today on final days in Premier League history from 1996 to current, essentially game week 38 quiz. And I've not gone too random. You need to know your final day of the season history, but I mean, FPL Irons will get a lot. I can tell you that now. There's a possible 20 questions, total 30. I reckon Irons will get at least 28. And tomorrow we're doing a throwback on Manchester United, following the fact we did their treble winning season last week, which was all positive for them. Lovely dovey. Tomorrow we're going to kick the door down and have a look at when they decided to pull out of the FA Cup and go to Brazil to play in the 2000 World Club Championship. There was knock-on effects of what happened in the FA Cup and the Premier League following that as well. Some good stories behind United's trip to Brazil. Other than that, please feel free to join me. I think around about 1 o'clock on Friday, I'll do my regular Friday stream, Ask James, where essentially I will cover every comment that goes into that chat for as long as I can. So please join me around about 1 o'clock Friday. Thank you again to everybody who supported Planet FPL 24 at the weekend. You can still donate. Please feel free to view my pinned tweet where you can see the link and the link to our Patreon in the bio. Anybody that signs up to Patreon, everything that signs up for Patreon will go towards NHS charities together till at least July. And obviously I'll be back around about 2:30 with my video printer and all the other stuff. Well done, FPL captain. Great job again tonight. Thank you very much to our game makers. Other than that, stay safe, everybody. Be nice to each other. Have a nice evening. Take care. Ciao for now.